How dare you?
Why are you? He always does this. Just to rub it in my face. Get out of this thing.
What? You got a rank 2 now.
His is bigger.
What?
Yes.
Yours has like big crazy horns and shit.
No, his is the cantina. His is the cantina.
Oh my god.
Edition.
Oh my god.
Listen, he has spikes. Listen, I'm not grateful. I'm very grateful for the adopted. He's got spikes. Look at him. Well, now he won't stop. He plays this game. Like I try to catch up to him, and then he just runs away. Stop running.
No, my brother is just the Tard Wrangler of the two of us. He has to lead us around and be like, come on, come.
Do you see his spikes? They're orange.
Yes, they are. Quite nifty. And yours has big gnarly horns. What are you crying about?
No, his are orange.
No, I get that he has the like spikes around his back and stuff that are orange and everything, but you got big gnarly horns on the freaking head of the Rancor you got. Pretty cool.
No, his are orange.
Did you want what? You wanted orange? An orange spiked Rancor? Would that have made you feel a little better?
No. Where are we going? I'm hungry. There's stuff at the gas station.
Own your truth. You know, it was difficult. It was at first. I mean, you just cornered me like that and everything, but you know, it's a little liberating now to know I can like Star Wars in more ways than I ever imagined. Dave Filoni is the savior of Star Wars. KK is doing an amazing job. The people out there are just blind and can't see it. So yes, thank you. I can stop lying now.
What? What the fuck?
Hello and good evening, everyone. Welcome to Saturday Night Sith, episode 104. I am your host, the Fractured Filter, and with me here is, as always, my friend, my co-host, my compatriot, and all the madness in this gosh-forsaken world, Jay freaking Hitman. How are you tonight, sir?
Doing fabulous. There is. I was trying to pull up. I want to do like a sentence of the week, and I was ill prepared when it came to Gua'uld. Yes. So for all of you Sholva Cree out there, go suck a fart.
Okay. Well, that's a hell of a way.
I use it right. I use it in the proper context, right? Sholva. We don't like those
traders. Yeah, we don't like traders. No. I guess I'm also going to create a new ticker for.
We'll just say we're just going to say
like button that'll be more Stargate centric now.
Yeah, I think going forward we'll just say Arik Tree Ak Tekek. That'll be what we open the show with. Arik Tree Ak Tekek.
And what does that translate to?
Arik Tree Ak Tekek. We do not surrender even in death. Would you be perfect?
That is
because
perfect.
We don't surrender.
We do not. We never give up. We never surrender. Yeah, we've certainly got a loaded show. We've got a lot of stuff we want to cover. You firing off quickly on Twitter that I was not expecting.
Oh yeah, that was I pulled a Dominic Toretto. I was living my life.
Before we do get into everything, I do want to hit the chat just really quick here because first in line, even though unfortunately it's not showing up on the restream side, we had Meteor Advocate Timon in first saying, hey yo, everybody, can't stay tonight. It's my uncle's birthday party, 64, hitting it up there. All right, well, you have fun with that. Said, have a great stream. Well, we certainly will try. Like I said, we got a lot of stuff to go over tonight. It'll be fun. And BD Jake, hello, sir, in here twice saying, like this dang stream tonight, nerds. So listen to the man. Star Wars Marvel Pure saying, yo, I'll be lurking, editing right now. Will you keep at it, sir? BD Jake with a Fable. This is quite the intro video. Yeah. What can I say? And he'll also be lurking. Well, one way or another, we appreciate you guys hanging out and listening one way or another. Keeping an eye on world events tonight. Yeah, we might be getting into some of that tonight too. It's gonna be interesting. Red Hoodwinked, hello, sir, saying, should have told him it was the Ahsoka variant Rancor. Then he would have stopped complaining. Well, there we go. There we go. Now you don't have to worry about it, Hitman. See, that was the Ahsoka variant. There you go.
No.
He still won't let it go.
No. He did it on purpose.
And
you know he did too. You've known him longer than me, and I know he did that on purpose.
Star Wars Marvel Pierce saying the Filoni faithful are clipping you as we speak. You know, and they would too, and they wouldn't understand sarcasm. So yeah.
Where is KK after George comes out and says he's protecting his stocks? Where's she at? Nowhere.
She's getting ready for Murray Sue Skywalker, Palpatine, a new movie. So, you know, she's a busy lady.
No.
And I'll be trying for the first time. We'll be dropping a little link here for the folks that I'm trying this out. Hey, why not? For a little donation spot. Rolling these extra things out. Trying to tap pin. There we go. Trying all these new little things for us, you know. Red Hood. Well, I tried it. You know, you can only do so much. You can only do so much. What can be said? Okay, so Rancors aside. Where do we want to steer this boat first? I know there was something else you were wanting to talk about before we went live. You were bringing it up. And now I can't
refresh my memory. I'm old.
I'm trying to remember too, because I don't know if it was the Star Trek related thing or
Well, let's do this. Is there anything you want to start with first on your end? Because I know I blindsided. I did not do my proper text you and let you know this is what I wanted to talk about. I kind of just fired it off. So, is there anything that you want to go over?
You know, let's start out with something on the end of positivity. I do enjoy some positivity every now and then, especially when it comes to Star Wars. I know a lot of our feelings with it is kind of jaded. With a lot of the news out there, a lot of the crappy shows that have been coming out, even some crappy video game that is something we'll be looking at later. But this is not a crappy video game. This is a mod project that we have talked about before on this channel by a one General Tantor, who is working on HD mods, as in what part of it what we're going to be getting into is the Mysteries of the Sith here, which was is an expansion pack to Jedi Knight Dark Forces. And this is where you get to see first and foremost Mara Jade being trained by Kyle Katarn and their kind of student master relationship going on, which was pretty cool. And tough as nails game, especially when you get to Drummond Koss, which I thought was really cool thing. And it was kind of an interesting thing to find out that, you know, Drummond Koss got name dropped so early on in Star Wars. And so, yeah, that's kind of the neat thing about this. The guy has been working really hard on some, and I played through his the mod for Jedi Knight remastered. It was really well done, really great, and really easy to install. But what I mainly wanted to kind of take a look at was, these remastered cutscenes. He has this kind of final look, which is what we're going to be looking at. But definitely go if you're looking to replay those old games. Go to General Tantor's YouTube page, and I'll drop the link for y'all. There you go. If you ever want to check out the mods that he has available, because like I said, very well done. Also, I think he did the stuff for Dark Forces that I played through as well. I played through basically a lot of his mods. Did a great job. What can I say? But we'll take a look here for good old Kyle and Mara first training, and this is just the first stage. So here we go.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Enough of this. Vader.
Hitman, could you hear it?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Release.
As you wish.
Otherwise, I'll find
Mara.
another video that'll.
You're becoming very adept at using the Force to anticipate my
This is-
actions.
Like these are
Someday
updated
that insight may save your life.
in this.
What's going on?
Captain Guitar, report to
It shows like another
immediately.
example of like
Captain
how
Guitar,
this used
report
to
to
look.
immediately.
You have to remember, like this was an old 90s,
Commander, what's the situation?
and
We detected two asteroids
a lot
approaching
of
our
character
atmosphere
models were
and
very
thought they'd break up on
blocky-ish.
contact. We became alarmed when they took up a geosynchronous orbit and began bombarding our shields. They appear to be some sort of new Imperial weapons, disguised as asteroids to take us by surprise.
Looks like they were successful.
It's not something you typically see in an asteroid.
Sir, our long-range outpost on Delta 3 has picked up an Imperial strike force entering hyperspace. Using their last known course and speed, we estimate they will arrive within 3 hours.
We can't get our evacuation shuttles off the ground with those asteroids pinning us down. And once the primary force arrives, we're done for.
Sensors detect Imperial ground troops landing just outside our shields.
Send squads 2 and 5 to Blue Sector. Tell all troops to prepare for ground assault.
We still have a chance. I'm gonna see if I can borrow a shuttle from our visitors, then I'll see what I can do about those asteroids.
I'm going with you. You're
No,
gonna.
Mara, I need you to stay here to coordinate the base defense.
Oh, really? Couldn't hear
I'll
us?
signal you when it's clear
Hopefully,
to
it's
begin
turned in this a
evacuation.
little bit more.
Better make it fast.
I don't want you to not hear
3
the
hours, and Qatar
what's going on with this.
Good luck.
Thanks.
But it is kind of funny. The only thing that's kind of a little off is just how it's like the old audio. But you can always do stuff like that. But yeah, I just think that it's pretty impressive what modders will do with the old games. This is why I am very much in the mindset you do not have to pick up the newest of new games here and there, and you can find mod projects like this that are updating, upscaling, and even for some changing game performance to make it look a lot better. Let me see if this one kind of piss off. Let me stop sharing for just a moment. We don't need to advertise for you, dang TurboTax. I gotta turn back on ad blocker. Fuck you, YouTube. But I just want to mainly just kind of show off how the scene initially looked. Let's see if it's got it here. No, let me find a different one. I know there was one of the videos here where it did show off how the scene looked first. Oh, yeah, here we go. Especially Kyle, as blocky as he looked. So here's like at least just seeing Kyle. And look, I mean, that's how the character model looked initially, much like this, kind of a very much more flat texture look. But then, like it is, the changed models ends up looking a whole lot better. So, it's really cool to see stuff like this. Keep an eye out for when he does do a new release. Keeps working. Let me just slap there. because like I said, all the texture mods that he has done has been fantastic for these old games, especially if you want to go through the Kyle Katarn saga, the early days, Dark Forces 2, and even Mysteries of the Sith. This is a great way to do it. So yeah, just to kind of kick off with a bit of that positivity.
That's so much better than Outlaws.
Oh, we'll get to that too. Absolutely. So, but yeah, great modifications. Check him out, General Tantor. I dropped his link in the chat for you if you ever want to go and check out his stuff. Trust me, if you're into retro old Star Wars games and you want to play the Dark Forces saga, that's the way to do it. All right, just that little bit there. So let me get to again the chat really quick. Red Hoodwinked, who said very jaded, almost makes me sick, to be honest. Wait, because I'm jaded or because you're jaded too? And hello, Nerdy Neo. How's it going, sir? Everybody's saying hello to each other. Cool. Yep. Everybody's everywhere. I know that feeling. Try to show out for the homies, says BD Jake. I appreciate it. And I know I try to do the same for a lot of the streamers I follow and content creators, yada, yada. It can be tough sometimes, especially when there's so many people that you want to jump in on their stream and everything. Did you guys play Mysteries of the Sith? I did. I don't know if it's still up on the main channel. I've been moving a lot of the gaming streams that I did over to the Fractured Filter gaming channel. And I know I'm slowly but surely I don't know if I've gotten all of Mysteries of the Sith over there, but I did play through it. It was my first time getting through that game, because all I'd ever really played before was like the first few stages, and I never beat it. But then I did. I'll admit, I kind of gave myself a little bit of a cheat, a little bit of a leg up, because the fight with Dark Mara Jade was tough as nails. And then
not harder than Tavion.
Yes. And then I had to, because I had to do a lot of backtracking eventually, because that's the way old games kind of were. If you did not do things initially, sometimes you did have to completely backtrack and recorrect and course correct so you could get through the rest of the stage. So I had to kind of cheat, get through that, and then once I did, boom, I was basically at the end of the game. So that was really fun. It was a lot of fun getting through that game. Everybody's chatting. Cool beans. And hello, Fook Norris. How's it going? How's it going, sir? Thanks for showing up. And I just want to really quick, I had my stream elements open. We got BD Jake tipped $1. Thank you. Says, take my dollar. Gotta support all the homies, even with what I got. Dude, even that is amazing. Thank you very much. Too cool, sir. Too cool. Thank you. And now what have you got, sir? What have you got, Mr. Hitman?
Where to start? So I guess we'll start on, we'll progressively go up, and I don't know how long we want to go before we want to do Stargate, but so I would just,
we've got a lot of stuff to look at, so no worries there.
No, so I just wanted to go over just kind of the status of movie making and show making, and we've done this show 104 episodes. We've reviewed multiple shows. We've reviewed Book of Boba, Mandalorian season 1 and 2.
Yeah, we have.
We did. Oh my goodness, what else did we did? We did Bad Batch. We did Bad Batch, Bad Batch season 1, season 2. We didn't do season. Did season 3 drop? Season 3's dropped. No.
For Mando,
yeah.
Mandalorian,
no, yes. For
only had one season. No, we stopped. We haven't watched Bad Batch season 3 at all.
Yeah.
The only content I've gotten for that is Raging Rhino's reviews. Otherwise, I have not watched that series.
obviously I'm not going in order, but Book of Boba, Mando 1 and 2, Andor, Bad Batch, Ahsoka.
Yeah.
We've watched.
We've run the gambit.
We've done almost everything that Disney has thrown at us outside, I think, Tales of the Jedi and Bad Batch Season 3.
Resistance.
We didn't do Resistance, but I did start watching Rebels, right? I did start watching Rebels,
we went through.
I've watched
Rebels to get you ready for Ahsoka.
Yeah. I did watch, and then I obviously did watch Clone Wars, all seasons leading up to like season 8 or 7. So we have watched everything that they almost everything that they've thrown at us, right? And today just hit me as, because I told you before the show, and I think I've alluded to the fact that like I've was going to watch Star Trek. I was going to give Star Trek a go. This is coming from a guy that would never in a million years watch Star Trek. I told you before the show, I'm the least likely guy to ever watch Star Trek because I've always thought Star Trek was
right.
Presupposition was it was just asinine dog water garbage, and if you watched it, you were an idiot because you didn't know what good show or movie was, right? What good show movie was. But going through Stargate, right? Stargate took place in the early 97, I believe is when it started, right?
For what?
Stargate SG-1 came out in 90.
Yeah, it was like mid to late 90s.
In 1997, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. Haven't come across a bad episode outside Cold Lazarus. Haven't come across a bad season, right? And I'm to season 5. We were talking about the original series of Star Trek. I grew up watching with my dad, right? Fantastic. I started watching Next Generation, and this is what really dawned on me today. As I was, because I've been watching this for the last week. I'm on episode 13. Why? So when I talk about like the status of movie making and show making, where did we go wrong? How was it that Star Trek?
Where did we go wrong? I don't know.
I'm genuinely asking because we talked before the show. You have Star Trek: The Next Generation, which was started it debuted in 1987, right? And you can tell that everything on set, like there is just why is it that this stuff is better than what we have today? Why is the original series that came out in the 1960s better than anything we have today? Somebody could be listening to this in the future, replay, be like, well, that's subjective. Well, okay, well, maybe to you that is subjective, but I'm still asking the question because everything that we have seen, this is my opinion, everything that I've watched that Disney has thrown at us is absolute trash. How Andor got an award, I have no idea. I want to know who they paid off. If they pulled a Zoe,
they've got a lot of friends in these academies. So
whoever the Zoe character from Gamersgate was, I don't know if they pulled a Zoe. If they're doing favors, I genuinely want to know. I genuinely want to know, man, because it's like
it's a lot of nepotism. It's a lot of they're all friends with each other.
For sure, but like, there's no agenda. Like, I'd have to go back and watch the original series of Star Trek, but like the agenda and what was in those shows, like you can make the argument, like, well, you're gonna push a message regardless, but like, what they're pushing to what Hollywood and everybody's pushing today, this ideology. I don't see in Star Trek, the Next Generation. I don't see it but more so, it's just when I talk about the status,
a lot
of it,
more
it's like,
subtlety in the older shows. They played it off more towards.
Where's the passion? I guess what I'm talking about. Where's the creativity? Where's the passion? Where's the these sets are absolutely amazing. Like we talked before, we talked about Next Generation. I don't understand how this show, these first 13 episodes, are fantastic in the perspective of like. The acting is bar none better than anything you'll find on Andor, right? These sets look like they're handmade. There's passion in making these sets. The CGI is better than anything we'll see CW put out. It's like, why is it that I have to go back in time to an era. Why do I have to go back to a time where to watch stuff that is enjoyable, that you can tell there's passion, that and I don't want to watch anything now because it's garbage. Culturally they're driving this this Luciferian doctrine, right? The whole, whether it be transgenderism or homo, like whatever it is, whatever they're pushing, I have no desire to watch that, right? Because it's demonic. I have no when I see stuff that's being pumped out by Star Wars, Disney, Lucasfilm, right? Deep down, we've talked about this, I want it to be good because deep down there's still that part of me as I was a kid that loved Star Wars. So I want it to be good. I genuinely do, but time after time again, I know it's not. Right. So I beg the questions, like, why is it that so what I'm saying about the movie industry and the film and the show making, you can talk about, or you can come from the perspective of gaming, right? Why do we have to play games back in the early 80s and 90s? Maybe very, very early 2000s, maybe nothing past 2002, right? Why? So that's why I want to talk about it.
Well, and here's some fantastic points. So first, hey, Brandon Tran, how's it going, sir? It's nice to see you here. But Spartacus, hello to you too as well. He said, we stopped telling stories for one, and then he also said, that's the thing. People in Hollywood, it's all about entertaining themselves, not us, the viewers, and they all pat each other on the back. Also, like Red Hoodwink points out, we've allowed non-fans who pretend to be fans into our space, and now we are suffering the consequences. And I do like what Star Wars Marvel purists has said here, especially. The agenda wasn't overt, it was there, but subtle. Story always came first. To some degree, yes and no. Yes, it was. They masked things very well with their stories. And I mean, early storytelling especially did take on more. It was more just geared towards like the human experience versus just this side's experience. Less of specific individual like groups and more of just the. That's what I've liked. I've liked when I like rewatch the old Showa era Godzilla movies as well. Some of them are cheesy, and yes, some of them do have to a point of view political messaging. It's more portrayed though in that more for like the human experience of, we as human beings are all on this earth. And so like as cheesy as like Godzilla versus Smog Monster is like, yes, we have to at least, keep things clean or else we have the potential of completely rotting out. And all these little things like that. So, it's taken on a new shape, and like everybody was pointing out here in the chat, it's gotten to them just entertaining each other, telling their and like you say, their ideological messaging, and that's what's because like it is, yeah, they've taken over media, they have a grasp on it, they own it, it's theirs. So they are very egotistical, and they feel like none of us have. They feel like they are basically the winners. And
I tell you what it is.
No, because even though we try and like do things like vote with our wallets and crap like that, look where it's gotten us for however fucking long, 10 years since the OG Gamergate days. Still in the same place as we were then. They're still owning and ruling these industries.
I tell you what it is. It's
your wallet, guys.
Yeah. This is the culture that we live in. We are now the spirit of the age. I've said it before. It's not I didn't coin that phrase. Steve Dace is one who coined that phrase. But it's the spirit of the age. This is the culture that we live in. It is laziness. It is instant gratification. There is no more. There is no hardworking. Nobody works hard. No, but like it's literally let's pump this out.
Well, and it's like they say, hard men make good times make weak men. Like that whole thing.
This country used to be great.
So we are in very good times, and we've made nothing but weak people.
The country was great. I'm somewhat being funny, but back when the Jim Henson Company was around, man, like I think as there are benefits to CGI, but I think CGI in a sense has made us lazy because it just removes the passion.
Made certain things easier, yes.
It has, but again, it's just this is where it's like this is it, man. Like there is no more excitement with stuff being released. There's no excitement. If a new show dropped tomorrow about Star Wars, I'm not excited because it is just laziness. There's
Right.
no dedication, there's no laziness. It's going to be, you already know that it's going to have subliminal messaging, which has been around for a long time, right? This isn't anything new, right?
No, it's really not.
But the subversion is not even subversion anymore. It's just flat out in your face, right?
Mhm.
They're going to push whatever they want to push. Like this is now
The new norm.
this is it.
Yes.
This literally it.
Well, so we talked about this last week, right? I was saying, for the gamers, where are we going to finally draw the line? Where are you going to finally take a stand and really actually step away and say no more? We're no longer moving the goalposts. We're no longer moving the line back for you people to keep overstepping yourselves and, getting away with this shit. Where is it that people are going to find? What is it going? I've been asking this. What is it finally going to take for people to really fight back and really, take that stand to say, no, we're finally fed up with it.
It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen because people will
let the industries die, but nobody wants to let these industries die.
They're not going to do it. And this is why, because it's easier to be complacent and give your money for the sake of playing a game versus standing up and saying, I'm not going to do it. Right. I'm not saying that there's not people out there that are going to do it, but it's easier to just, I don't really agree with it, but I can't give up gaming. So like, I'm going to play this game, but it doesn't mean I believe it. Like it's against my beliefs, but I'm going to play it anyway, just for the sake of playing. Right. It's no different than like, we talked about that babyface dude, he knew what he was playing when he got Starfield. He knew it. He absolutely knew what was in the game and he played it anyways. Right. He's like, but the reason why he played, I bet my next paycheck that he played that game because for the sake of playing it. He knew what he was getting, but he used the defense like, well, I'm going to play it so I can review it and I could so I can go against everything that's in the game.
Like some of the first people that are streaming it and stuff like that. Yeah.
Like they're not going to do it, man. Like
I can't expect, I agree. Yeah.
It's not, this is different than Anheuser-Busch, man. This is different. Like you can boycott Anheuser-Busch, right?
Right.
But just because you boycott Anheuser-Busch doesn't mean that you can't go to another beer company and buy beer. If Anheuser-Busch was the only beer company out here in America or Canada, right? And they pulled this ridiculousness with the whole transgenderism thing and people boycott, like I guarantee you they wouldn't have there would be less amount of people that would boycott it if they were the only beer company because people are going to give up drinking beer. Right? I mean, it's kind of the same. I might be an idiot for saying that. Maybe it doesn't make sense, but people aren't like, they're not going to give up what they want to do. Right?
Yeah.
So they will compromise and they'll bend the knee. Right. And we're all guilty of it in some capacity. Right. But you say like, well,
I've admitted that many times on streams. I've participated in the unfortunate bad culture of gaming that has led us to this point. I fully admit I have taken my part.
The powers that be are like, it is so the hold is so strong, like you're not gonna loosen the grasp, and it's literally Hydra. It is hilarious because I think Marvel's trash, right? But like that got it right.
I like he's still throwing the dig.
Mr. Anderson, no, listen, Mr. Anderson got it right. He's like when he says, "Remove one head, and two shall rise from it," from the ashes or from the heap. Like it's literally it. You cut off something, like it's not going to go away unless you attack it at the root. You can pull weeds in your yard, right? And you can pull those weeds for 35 years until you remove the root. They're going to keep coming back. This isn't just about gaming, man. This isn't just about movie making. This is literally moral. Like this is morality. This is like whether you believe in, like we've talked about this, man. Whether you believe in God or not, like this is two opposing forces at war, right? That's what the Apostle Paul talked about, right? We don't fight flesh and blood, the evil principalities. There is a spiritual war that's going on, obviously, in this world, but also America, man. And the White House has demons inside that White House, and this goes so much deeper than just gaming, right? And it's interesting when we talk about this. It's so interesting that this has crept into gaming. We talk about escapism. Gaming was our escapism. Movies was our escapism.
It was.
So the very thing, I've said this multiple times, man. The very thing that we don't want to deal with at the vote at the polls, we now have to deal with in the gaming. And maybe it's a good thing that this is happening, because maybe, just maybe, the lazy people will wake up.
It'll hopefully light some fire under people's asses. Yes, I just unfortunately, and I've kind of brought this up with people like Melee K and whatnot, that it's unfortunate too, because like we feel like there's definitely a lot more people that are just trying to more grift off of what's going on versus and they're just riding the wave because it's the hot thing right now versus actually wanting to do anything about it.
Right.
And unfortunately, it's hard to discern who's really wanting to make this change versus those who are in it to just make a quick buck.
But
and it goes for not just gaming, it goes for movies, it goes for TV. It's like, it's hard to discern that, because it really makes it tough, because then it's like, well, how can you actually get the ball rolling on this when you have these people that are just out there just like, oh, well, I'm just talking about this to make money off of it with YouTube and stuff. It's like, well, that's not helping us any, because it just means that they're very fickle, and they'll stop talking about whatever the topic is, because it doesn't bring a profit. So they're just here 1 minute, gone the next.
I think the other side
organized with that kind of mentality.
For sure. I think the other side of it is, it's a daunting task to think about how to do, like, how do you beat Hollywood? How do you beat the gaming industry? How do you beat these companies? How do you beat Ubisoft? How do you beat Microsoft? How do you beat them? Right? You think, I mean, to think that, like, if a few people decide not to buy their game, how's that going to affect them? Like, this is going to have to be literally an Anheuser-Busch type boycott. But even then, I don't think you break it, because you're not going after the root of the issue. You're going after the company, but you're not addressing the larger issue. The larger issue is ideology that these companies, this demonic ideology that is being subverted and pushed in this culture. Like, until you go after that, you're not going to win.
I do agree that you sometimes have to go to the head of the matter to really stop things. At the same time, I also see the part where you kind of have to fight some of the smaller battles so you get to the big one to finally kind of kick it all down. And that's where I think from Ross Scott at Curse Farms with his whole Stop Killing Games, that whole campaign that he started up, which, again, to anybody that's interested, stopkillinggames.com, go check it out. With the whole, especially if you did purchase the crew digitally, they are making it unavailable. So yes, I think little things like that can be very helpful. It can help at least take a stab at them where it needs to. And even as I sometimes hate you, but it's like, as black-pilled as I can be when it comes to the gaming industry, with what can be done, with what can be changed, seeing somebody like him that I have followed since 2007, and he's been a guy that's been very consistent with his message and stuff like that, and everything. And I know, like from his videos, this is something, in his live chats, is something he's very passionate about, is the prevention, basically video game preservation and stuff like that. He's legit. So at least with somebody like that who has the following that he does, I think when he starts a campaign like this and really gets fired up, it can help a lot. And I think it just also needs a lot more people to get eyes on it, so we can, yes, push at least and get one, just a little victory here or there, which will, I think, help more, really then inspire a lot more people that, oh, maybe we can, fight a company at a time and not just stay focused on particular ones. It's kind of like how with the movie industry, everybody's so focused on Disney, but like there are others. There's Paramount, there's WB. Sometimes sometimes it's good to focus on a company at a time, but you need that opening. And like it is with Ubisoft and what they've done with the crew, that's a damn good opening. And they're not as giant as somebody like a Disney. So I think that has a lot more possibility of, getting a good hit on. Otherwise, I can understand too, where it's just sometimes very demoralizing. I've been through that where it's just like, I'm not seeing the purpose of it. Sometimes
the problem, like I said, the reason why I say this goes much deeper than the gaming industry or Hollywood or filmmaking or show making. It's like it starts with the parents, man. There is an indoctrination of just evilness that is going around, that's plaguing the world, this country, right? And it starts at the home, right? So if the parents are affirming that if you want to be a rock, you can be a rock, right? Or you're a girl, but if you want to be a boy, you can be a boy. If they're affirming that, they are complacent. They're basically they're at fault for it, right? And they're egging this on because they're not saying that you're not a parent, right? You're a coward. If you're telling your child that is a girl that they can be a boy, like, shame on you, right? You're a coward. That's not like. And it starts at the home, man.
For some of it almost starts
I might get canceled for the show. I don't care, but it needs to be said. It does. Like, it starts at the home. Like if there's any chance that you're going to fight this indoctrination, the parents have to grow up and be a parent, right? Because I guarantee you, their parents did not affirm the things that they're affirming to their children now. And if they did, well, shame on their parents, right? The role as a parent.
You have to take responsibility for yourself at some point and go, wait, maybe what I was taught wasn't the right way.
No. And it comes down to this: you can not believe in the Bible, right? But there's still an innate morality embedded in everybody.
Yes,
which is the moral law, which came from God. So it doesn't matter if you believe in the Bible or not. You still know what's right and wrong, right? And where does that come from? It doesn't come from a fart in the air. It comes from somewhere, right? So that's the thing. Like, and I'm not making this show about religion or anything. I'm just saying, like, the parent, like, it starts at the home. It starts with the parents. It starts with people actually growing a sack. With us men, we need to have an actual sack and stand up and fight against this stuff, because again, it's so much larger than gaming. Like, it's not even, at this point, it's not even about gaming. Right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I would say, like, probably in terms of the entertainment industry, probably gaming overshadows a lot of it at this point.
It does, but that's why Hollywood is so evil, man. And I want to just talk. My whole point of this was to just talk about the status of, like, movie making and filmmaking and why it sucks, and it turned into this. But again, it's like
unfortunately, that's just the inevitability of it, because it's just so pervasive this way. It's like you said, kind of like a Hydra and everything, like an octopus that just gets his sticky fingers or whatever, all these different aspects of the process of writing, of filmmaking and stuff like that. So you unfortunately, because it's become the way it has, there's just no avoiding it. I hate talking politics and stuff like that myself. I'm not always so up to date on everything. And I've even been invited onto other people's shows that involve that. I'm just like, I feel like a dum-dum. I just know, like, my sides of these sorts of things. So it just sucks that, that this is what it's come down to, instead of just going, man, isn't Star Wars just fucking awesome? And actually, like, legitimately saying that, and not just some of the shills out there that are just doing it again to make money.
Right.
But yeah.
It's so much larger, and it needs to start with, it needs to start with the parents. It needs to start in the household, and then we need to be men. And here's the thing: I'm going to say this because I know somebody's is going to listen to this, like, well, Jay Hitman, you're a racist, you're a bigot, you're a xenophobe, you're a homophobe, you're a transphobe.
Dude, you don't even.
No. Here's the
don't
thing.
even
I'm going to say this.
because you know what? They're going to use that regardless of
for
what
sure.
you.
But I'm going to go on record and say this, right? And Spartacus probably is of the same belief that I know we share the same belief and same faith. I don't hate the people, right? I am worried for the people. My heart breaks for those people because I know.
And we've talked about that.
Yeah, we have. And like I said, there's two places you're going to go, heaven and hell, and they're both real. You got to make the decision where you want to go, right? And so it has nothing to do with I don't hate you. There's no hate, right? I may not agree with what you do, but the issue is when you take this Luciferian doctrine and you start attacking children and you start telling children that it's okay, for a girl to be a boy, and then you gender mutilate them, or you rip their basically burn their genitalia with acid, like I have an issue with that, because now you're going after a child that's innocent and doesn't know how to defend themselves, right?
Yeah, and
that's why these kids today, like when you go out and you talk to them, like they think it's fine. They think they actually believe that they can do this, and there's nothing wrong with it. Let me ask you this: if you asked a child back in the '60s the same question about, like, if you asked the question to a kid, 2024, if they thought, transgender, like whatever it is, like what was the thing, and they
look at you like you're speaking a completely entirely alien language.
Why is that? Why is that? Is that because I'm a racist? I'm a homophobe? I'm a transphobe? Like, why is that?
Why is it that they would look at you that way then versus now? Because a lot of that culture has been subverted into society. It's a slow burn. It's the boiling frog thing.
Humanity has been evil since the fall. I get that, right? Sodom and Gomorrah was so bad that God destroyed it, right? But the point I'm trying to make is this has been a slow burn. This is the frog in the boiling water that has been in this pot for years. This is literally Palpatine's plan in the world. This is a slow, methodical, over time indoctrination. What is right is now wrong, and what is wrong now has become right. Evil has become accepted, and it is the right thing to do. And people give haughty praise to those who do it. Right. But if you and I say that's not right, well, we get canceled. This is why this is a culture, and this is a culture war. And I know Tim, and kudos to Tim and Alora and Tuscan. Right? I know that Tim does his own show, but that's why I appreciate Tim so much, because for those Tim open airlock, the dude doesn't back down. I know that we take it probably maybe a different approach. We do kind of maybe a different approach on the culture. Mine's more, I think, faith-based, but the dude they don't back down, right? And I think that's what we need to do. We need not to back down, and we need to have these conversations, and if it's on this podcast, then fine. If you're going to allow us to talk about this on the podcast, then I think it needs to be talked about, right? So
that's the whole point of the fractured filters, that it's
sometimes my filter, it just needs to be talked about. I just think it's so much bigger than people think. People want to say, Jay Hammond, why are you talking about this stuff? Like, we're just talking about games and movies. Well,
they always say, right? Culture is downstream from politics, right? So,
right,
it's all connected.
To answer your question, I unless you go after the root cause, it's never going to go away. And even if you attack the root, I think it's so deeply indoctrinated into people and ingrained in these kids. I don't know if you come back from that. You would have to have a massive, revival, if you will. But it's so bad, man. It's so deep. The hook is so deep in, right? And you know why it's so deep in? Because we have failed. The younger generation, we have failed. We have not done our part. We have not stood up, and we have not had these conversations, and we haven't done our part. We'll talk about this behind closed doors, but when it comes out to going out in the public street, the public square, we don't do it. And that's the problem. We have waited so long, and I think it's to the point is like, are we too far gone?
Right. Just really quick, as Marvel Purist points out, USA, United Spacers Alliance, the channel formerly known as Open Airlock Policy.
I always refer to it as open log, so I need to probably change it.
I still know it that way too, but he's done some rebranding.
And I apologize. I'll USA. I'll be better.
It's fine. I saw that. I just but and to the point, and I'm gonna get a little fetty here. I'm gonna glow it a little bit here and say this is that I've brought this up on Static 2020's weekend pregame, and I've brought this up is that for one, of course, what is it really going to take for anybody to really start fighting back, and also how far are you going to be willing to go? Because if you are really wanting to fight back and actually start making some headway, like anything, and you call this a culture war, how dirty are you willing to get?
For sure.
Because as it is, war is never pretty. And in the, as my once favorite series, Fallout, it's like war never changes. And so, you're not going to like some of this. You're going to have to get down and dirty if you really want to start making some change, because this is another thing that I have pointed out is that just asking them, hey, could you guys knock it off, please, isn't going to work.
No.
It's not going to work. It hasn't worked. It will never work until some real action starts taking place.
But that would require...
Until then, you're going to just keep basically circling this drain into this. So that ends my Fed. That'll end my Fed post for now.
Yeah. No, it's great. I think it just to piggyback on that, we need to actually be men. Everybody can't define a woman, but I can define what a man is. I can also define what a woman is. But we need to be
I
men.
can actually define this. Yes.
I can. It is. You have a vajayjay. Your reproductive organs are on the inside, not outside. No, man. I mean, I don't know if we can wrap that up, but no, I think to your point, man. Like it's like, how far are you going to go? Are you, to say something behind closed doors or with your friends is totally different than going out to the public square.
Yes,
and going toe to toe with somebody who doesn't agree with you. That does not mean that you condone hate. That does not mean that it doesn't mean that you hate the person. Doesn't mean that you attack the person, right? It means that you love the person enough to tell them what's right and what's wrong. I come from my perspective of my faith, right? But for you, it's the same thing. Like, you tell them, like, hey, like, this is, like, come at it, be objective. Like, these are the facts, and this is wrong, and this is why it's wrong, right?
Absolutely.
You don't want to, go the ad hominem route where it's you have a debate with somebody and then they just start personally attacking you because they know that you're right. So the only thing they can do now is attack you, right? You don't, that there's no point in that.
Well, and even sometimes, like, when they kind of use that terminology to attack you, they're just using that to keep you fighting on your own principles and your own rules and everything like that, while they just continue to fight as they see fit. They'll use any ad hominem and all that sort of crap.
The question now is, like,
they don't come to any conversation with good faith.
No. The question is now, like, within the game, like, if you just go back to gaming really quick, it's like, well, what games can you buy and not be complicit with giving money to these people that are pushing this agenda? Right? Can you, and because we talked about, I have Steam. I have a Steam account. I made Steam. I bought a Steam. I created a Steam account. I have a Steam card, right? So where's the line in the sand? Like, can I buy a 1990s game and it not go to these people? Like, because we talk about, like, not giving your money to these companies. Like, well, what does that mean? What does that look like? Does that mean not playing games at all? Does it mean going to the high seas? But how do you do it without giving your money in a roundabout way to these companies? We talked about Steam. The people take a 30% cut off of Steam.
I forget the exact cut, but yeah, like Steam takes a big cut out of it because I mean they're supplying it, they're putting it on their platform, which is widespread through the community. So it's kind of like, well, you're getting the biggest platform possible. So, and that's kind of like, oh, we lost Hitman. Oh no. Well, until he gets back, I don't know what happened. That was sudden. I will start going through some of the chat till he gets back. Let's see here. Brandon Tran, who said we're going really far back. Modders ironically know how to make better game content that fans want than modern game companies like EA, Ubisoft, and Naughty God. Agree 100%. Star Wars Marvel purist. I've got 75-80% of Bad Batch Season 3. It's a slog. Usually I have cooler shit to cover than Sad Batch. LOL. We just completely said, no, we're not covering it. We're done. And so I've just been watching Rhino's reviews, and that's been sufficient enough. I don't feel like I'm missing a whole lot as it is. Red Hoodwinked, we didn't touch Resistance because of that very reason. We didn't want to lose our brain cells. Brandon Trent said Mr. Jag is a good mod channel on YouTube if you want to play custom Batman skins for Arkham City, Origins, and Night. Oh, cool. I'll have to check that out. Spartacus saying Stargate is the best sci-fi TV show. I can't disagree. It's definitely my top favorite for sure. SG-1 and all time. And we knew it was Zoe Quinn. That's why I said the Five Guys and Fries. Red Hoodwing said we've allowed I touched on that already. Touched on that. Nerdy Neo, I know, right? That award should have gone to Obi-Wan. Oh, you cheeky bugger. Let's see. I got a text from Hitman saying they canceled me. LOL. Either my internet crapped out or I got kicked. Well, I didn't kick you, sir. So you're good on that front. But yeah, I guess his internet crapped out. I'll just keep running through some of and he's back. Hello, sir. Welcome back.
You tried to cancel me and you didn't. Ha!
I'm just going through some of the chat at the moment.
Can't cancel me.
Brendan Tran said Andor probably hired the best cinematographers with over $1 million more than other Star Wars shows. Well, they had some work. Well, like I said, I'm just going over some of the chat right now. BDJ, so they're going back and forth on the SG-1. Best year in gaming, 2007. That was to some people, that was the beginning of the end. Marvel Purist said, I will say, and it's not the popular opinion in our circles, but X-Men 97 is actually pretty legit. Do I agree with the messaging? The gay agenda stuff? Not at all, but it's pretty obvious. Yeah, that's I heard. I laughed.
I've only heard this. That's the second person I've heard that actually said it was good.
I'm sure they put in some time and effort for it, but I'm still not going to watch it.
I haven't watched it, but I heard one other person say it was good, and then I pushed them in the trash can. I'm just kidding. I did do that. Somebody at work said it was good.
And he says the show is made for our generation that grew up with the 90s X-Men show and Claremont. He says Lobdell X-Men comics of late 70s and 90s. The episode actually had no woke shit in it that I noticed, and most of it has been pretty subtle. Well, that's how they get it. The subversive, the cultural subversives. That's how they do it. That's how all the old shows were. They're very subtle with it, and it was just that slow burn to what we've gotten to now. Let's see. Yeah, Spartacus saying, I don't completely agree with that about CGI, because even CGI 10 years ago had more attention and passion to it than today. And a lot of it, too, for back in the day for CGI was also a blend of practical plus CG, where like the CG sometimes was like touch up or just kind of that stand in. That's like with Jurassic Park. A lot of the first Jurassic Park movie, practical, and then they used some very high rendered CG stuff to get away with, and then they also played around with the camera and stuff like that to make sure it did not look too obvious.
I guess when I said about the CGI comment, I just the more CGI that was used, I guess the less I saw like puppets and like that kind of stuff. That's what I meant. And but again, there's I'm not gonna say there's not good CGI. I feel like I don't know. Me personally, this is my personal opinion. The puppeteers and the puppets and like Star Wars, like A New Hope. Well, it wasn't A New Hope, but Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. That kind of stuff. But even you outside Star Wars, like Jim Henson, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like that kind of stuff. The Wampa, that was I don't know, man. I just think there's more of a
things
passion.
can be done well. He throws
because
people don't have any passion. They just want attention.
I don't want to watch. I don't want to watch Obi-Wan and like look like I feel like I'm in the back of a rock crushing plant in California, which is, by the way, fun fact, where they shot it.
Yeah.
Freaking rock crushing plant. Like I don't like that's it's just lazy. It's literally like I go behind our work and that's where it was shot.
Right.
Like,
I know.
That's the kind of stuff. And like Andor, like the ships are just in the planet. It's just
so dull and boring.
It is, man.
So sad and boring.
That's kind of what I meant, I guess, by it. But again, like, we only have a $400 million budget. I don't know why you're complaining. Whatever the budget was, not $400 million, but $4 million budget, like whatever it is.
Yeah.
Maybe George had
all the crap that Avatar gets, it did have great CG. I don't know. I mean, it seemed very like Uncanny Valley-ish, like very weird and awkward at times to me. But that was me watching it regularly. I don't know. Like some people said the 3D was really good, but I don't know. I just didn't care for all the weird blue Smurfs running around. Brandon Tread said, don't know if you guys have seen DreamWorks film like Shrek or Madagascar, but their latest movies, Megamind versus Doom Syndicate and Kung Fu Panda, 4 really dropped the quality in storytelling. I've seen the Shrek movies, but that's been it out of that list of movies you mentioned. I've not seen everything else though. And Shrek wasn't bad. It was humorous. Spartacus said Hollywood is, like you said, modern day Sodom and Gomorrah. I mean, that's just basically all of California at this point. Brandon Trev said Kung Fu Panda could have stayed a trilogy with incredible villains, but nope. Companies want to milk because they're running out of ideas. Oh, that's the thing. Since the inception of Hollywood, they've been doing remakes, reboots, and adaptations since the freaking inception. There have been, of course, a sprinkle of things that are original works and stuff like that, but like so much of it has just been, they've adapted books and stuff like that, and then they've remade things time and again. Some people get it right, some people completely bomb. So Spartacus says, we are losing the war on the U.S. culture because we gave up on the little things. Yeah, we stopped gatekeeping a lot. We stopped, actually putting our foots down, being like, no, you are not changing. This is for your mental gymnastics. Also said, been a long time since I've sat down and watched one. Because they're talking about some of those movies. Star Wars Marvel Pure said, I raised my kids on Mortal Kombat, Marvel Ultimate Alliance. That was a fun game. And Star Wars Force Unleashed. Yeah, that one was okay. And they haven't become serial killers. Well, again, that's probably because you were a good parent, raised them up right. There's a separation of fiction and reality and shit like that. I know that's how my upbringing was. It's called, that's what that is. You do not take this outside. The minute you do, you lose all your fun and privileges. So, let's kind of bomb on through. They're also, everybody's talking with each other. That's so awesome to see. Let's see. Hey, Duke Devil, how's it going, sir? Saying Hitman bailed. It was probably because you were a fed for so long. It was only a short time. It was only short.
Yeah, my things, but I'm actually
I just like glowed too brightly for them.
I just covered my computer in bleach, so we're good.
Nerdy Neo says, Hitman, what about the fact that people like as play a game, and when it sucks, they dissuade lots of people from playing it, causing less people to play it, and devs make less money. Do they though? And the thing with the thing is with Az though is that he doesn't stick to the guns. Like I said with the Starfield rant that he made, he would have had a lot more power with it if for one, he hadn't paid the exorbitant amount of extra money to get in early, which that right there tells me his exact intentions of wanting to be early on the bandwagon.
Right.
And then on top of it, you then have the fact that after he makes that big, quote unquote, passionate speech, he did not immediately turn the game off and right there on stream saying, I'm done with this fucking game, and uninstall it. Because the last I understood, he also then did 2 additional streams of the game till he finally gave up, yes, but still continued. That's been certainly my stance on some of this. Sorry he asked you, but
that's a good point. And yeah, I understand where you're coming from. I guess I just agree with the whole Starfield thing. It's like
Starfield was on the whole marketplace, so I mean that we don't know.
Nerdy brings up a good point. I'm not gonna rob Nerdy New of his point. Like, makes a good point.
He's not wrong, but I just don't know
my point with the Starfield thing is, like, to your point, like early access, right? And you like, I don't know, man. I just to say, I'm not saying Nerdy New is saying this, but I've heard the argument that people have says like, well, he didn't know what he was getting. Like, he didn't really know what he was getting. Because I haven't really heard that. I guess I should retract my statement. But the argument would be, well, how do you unequivocally know he knew what he was getting? So
I go from reputation of the game company.
For sure.
Reputation of Bethesda has never been good. Why you would ever buy a game day one is absolutely asinine to me.
Yeah, and to your point, this isn't like the early 90s where you could buy a game off the cuff and it would be good.
Is asking, what difference does it make when he stops playing it when he already bought the game? Everything can make an impact. But it still didn't, like I said, he bought the early ticket. He's forked out how, and that's gonna be a big sticking point with the Star Wars game that we're gonna talk about. So, one way or another, like I'm like myself, learning about the activist dev for Helldivers. I'm now stepping away from that game. I have uninstalled that game. I'm no longer playing it. I'm no longer putting in the time to it. So long as you do it so long as you walk away at some point more than just, I don't know. I guess like I said, you have to draw a final line somewhere. And when you don't draw it soon enough, when you don't stand soon enough, you just let them take more and more control. You lose, more of your stance on things.
Well, I'd ask the question, and like I said, I know Nerdy New is commenting. I just ask like respectfully, and we're having a conversation. I'd be like, well, where's the line in the sand? Because again, Nerdy New has a good point, right? He's got 2 good points, right? But again, like I've said, the issue, I guess, is that you spend the money for the early access, and I just, in my mind, I just feel like
I've talked about it with Static and stuff, Nerdy Neo, and like he even confirmed too that he bought the early access to get in on it, and he started streaming before some other people's.
Yeah.
So it was one of those situations where he did get in.
But where do you draw the line?
So why I'm not playing Helldivers because, like I said, they have brought in activist community managers. That community manager that really struck up a shitstorm last week that we talked a little bit of. And she showed a very flippant manner on, yes, she did remove things for a short time from her bio, but then as soon as Monday hit, everything was basically back into place. So they are showing that they are willing to keep on these activist devs or community managers, because that's where a lot of this shit starts. That's where the creeping in of the cultural subversion gets going. And in my opinion, until people like that are gone, I won't touch the game anymore. Like I said, you have to draw a line somewhere.
What's the line?
Well, that's just it. Getting those people out. We can't, like I brought up my tweet before. It's like, we as gamers say we want these political activists out of gaming. Political activists found in video games. Hey, listen, guys. Just because they think a little differently than us, we can't go kicking them out. Can't go getting them fired. Where do we draw the line? Where? Yeah, and look at this. They would waste zero time kicking any one of us out. We should be doing the same.
Yeah.
And so I'm sorry. I'm stepping away from that particular game. I enjoyed it, yes, but you know what? Sorry. When they bring in people like that who have nothing but like a sinister motivation, I'm out. Because they're the kind of people that want to bring in the real world politics. They want their trans flags, their gay flags, and all that sort of crap forcibly inserted into the game, and it'll be only a matter of time. Hopefully I'm wrong. But the thing is that I should have really been following my gut instinct on a lot of this shit before jumping into it. And with current gaming, it's nothing but negative.
Yeah.
So, I've allowed myself to get a little wrapped up with like the whole FOMO, fear of missing out and stuff like that. And I just had to look in other places just to kind of have some fun when people do like gaming events and stuff like that. So. Well, and that's that. Like I think I made that point now. Is like he says, I think as long as activism doesn't affect the actual game, I don't know. Like I said, we'll have to wait and see. But until then, no, I'm not touching it. We did have Dan Blackroyd, aka Liquid Blake, in the chat saying, "As like the rest of Friday Night Tards are frauds," Brendan Tran saying, "Why is Ubisoft charging $130 for Ultimate Edition for extra content like DLC mission with Jabba?" Oh yeah, like I said, we'll jump into that too. Dan Blackroyd also said some real big supposed edgelords and bastions of truth that attacked all this from Hollywood, well, mostly just Disney, will keep falling over themselves for the video game industry. And I made that very point too, especially when it comes to some new games that are going to be coming about. The basically the streamer cucks are going to be simping over any of these games that are coming about, probably even Star Wars Outlaws, to be the first in line to, stream the game and crap like that. So, well, they said no for now. That can always change. Dude, Devil Fractured walked away from Helldivers. Well, I guess you just don't love democracy, sir. Democracy's gay. There, I said it. I'm all for liberty, but not democracy. Hello, Anthony Jameson. How are you doing today? Saying I can make a better Luke Skywalker than old man Mark Hamill because he's a Disney shill, 100%. Okay. Well, now that we've been on our soapboxes for that, which Let's look at something a little bit kind of silly and kind of interesting at the same time. How about it? Sound good?
Outlaw.
No, actually, this is Star Wars: The Phantom Menace, 1950s, Super Panavision 70 style. This kind of looks weird and neat at the same time. So let's take a peek at this.
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, the saga continues with
it's gonna look really janky.
Phantom Menace.
It's all like
Amidst the backdrop of galactic turmoil, the Jedi Knights, guardians of peace and justice,
like weird,
face
crazy
a new
style
threat
too.
that could plunge the galaxy into darkness. Meet Qui-Gon Jinn, a wise and noble Jedi Master, his apprentice, the young and eager Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Anakin Skywalker, a boy with a destiny that will shape the fate of the galaxy.
Fucking Yoda.
But lurking in the shadows is a sinister plot orchestrated by the Sith, led by the menacing Darth Maul, seeking to manipulate galactic events to their advantage. As ancient prophecies unfold and destinies collide, the fate of the galaxy hangs in the balance as heroes rise and villains reveal their true intentions.
Man,
prepare yourself for an epic journey filled with action, adventure,
a lot more
and the
sinister.
timeless struggle between the forces of light and darkness. Star Wars: The Phantom Menace, a thrilling.
I mean, it's kind of crazy too, because when you think of the Ralph McQuarrie art, some of it kind of looks like this, anyways, which is kind of a fun thought. But I just love how, like, for the pod racing, you have these. I mean, this is kind of like what even like with Fallout, what they were doing with like the original Fallout, what they were doing with like the stylization and stuff like that. So I mean, some of this is kind of nifty, kind of neat. It's fun sometimes to see what people are doing with like this AI art and shit like that. Like I've seen some wild like trailers and stuff like that people have done. Fucking Yoda just looks so weird. But I mean, Darth Maul, I like that kind of.
He looks better than the Home Depot Yoda.
True enough. But I dig it. I mean, I dig a lot of this. Some of this is pretty cool. Although it's kind of funny that you got kind of like more of an older looking Obi-Wan fighting off against Darth Maul, and man, like even this whole space battle looks intense. But yeah, I just thought that okay, there we go. A little fun and interesting after that. Let's see here. Yeah, Dan Blackred, he says, I saw it on Twitter. People went crazy with excitement over the Battlefront remake until they realized it didn't work. The same people that openly hate Disney. I was saying some of that shit. I was like, I've kept professing to people. I said when we first looked at the trailer, don't bother with it. Get the classic original version. If you're gonna get any version of it, you can mod it out. I did that when Melee Games had their whole multiplayer event playing the original Battlefront 2. I just slapped in an HD mod. It looked fantastic and still played great, in my opinion. It did not need any help. And yeah, I agree, Fook Norris. He says, it's easy for me to wait on games because I don't play much multiplayer at all. I can see how it would be harder for them. It's just about having that, that bit of willpower and just being able to say, nah, you know what? I'm not going for this one. And I've been good. It's just, you get wrapped up in certain things and sometimes you just get sucked along into it. But at the same time, no excuse. I gotta be better again and back away and just keep playing the games I want to legitimately play. So that's an on me thing. That's the way I look at it. So, and that's what I got to keep doing. Nerdy News says, because the original Battlefront was a great game, bringing it back with cross-platform would have been amazing. I don't always see where it's necessary for the older games, but I get it too at the same time. It's kind of a weird thing. And yeah, BDJ says Spartacus showed this off the other day to me. It's cool looking, in my opinion. 50s retro futurism. Yeah, that's what it. Thank you. That's what I was looking for. Yeah, I agree. And I think I saw it randomly on Twitter, and then yeah, Spartacus also posted it in our Discord. I saw it there too. I was like, oh, sweet. Brother. So BDJ first said, I know you mean Battlefront, but man, I played a lot of Battlefield 2 back in the day, and 2142 as well as Bad Company 2. My homie right here. Dude, 2142 was my jam back in the day. I loved that game with a passion. That was so much fun.
What game?
Between the base attacks, getting to run around in mechs, it was so much fun. Oh, the Titan airdrops and stuff like that, dude. I don't know how many hours I sunk into that game, but it was a long time playing that particular game. I had so much fun. And Bad Company 2 I liked a lot. I had some issues with like not being able to prone, but otherwise, like I one of my favorite stories too is while playing Bad Company 2, I forget which map it was exactly, but I'm in a house. It had already gotten kind of destroyed and everything, and I'm doing some sniping, and I think it took a hit at some point. I wasn't really fully paying attention until I kind of hear this kind of creaking noise, and then next thing I know, the whole house just collapses in with me inside of it, and I get killed by the damn building because that was the great thing about Bad Company 2. At least I can say for Bad Company 2 is that it had destructible environments with the housings and stuff like that. So even though I thought I was, safe in a house at the time, it just collapsed on top of me and took me out. It was the most hilarious damn thing. I couldn't even be mad. It was just so hilarious because here I was just doing some sniping, before I was about ready to move out. And next thing I know, that house just collapses in on me. Oh, it was so funny. Duke Devil. So should I get this new Star Wars game? I hear it takes place during OT. Do I get to play a non-binary character? If so, about time. Sign me up. Well then, Duke Devil, that's gonna be the game for you, brother. Anthony Jameson says, all I hear now for Mark Hamill, whenever he talks, he sounds like a Joker. He talks like the Joker. Actually, scratch that. The Joker is actually his real voice. I mean, at this point. BD Jake says Battlefront 3, 4, and that was it. Yeah, same here. After Battlefield 4, I was done. Like I barely got into 4. Like I played a little bit of it, but I just could not really sink time into it, and I just tapped out. Got Battlefield 5, but only played the single player campaigns. I got in on the Battlefield 1 multi, like their little like alpha test or something like that. And with the changes that they were making in that, fuck no. I tapped out. That was it, after Battlefield 4 and then what they were showing with Battlefield 1 with the changes they were making to the battlefield itself and the way vehicles worked and stuff like that. Nah, no thanks. Out. You guys screwed the pooch there. Brendan Trent says 1950s era Phantom Menace would be a pretty cool movie. It would be. And it looks pretty cool. Duke. But I need to know the character's pronouns before I drop some credits for it. I mean, Duke, I think you're heading in the right direction for Outlaws. The main character looks very gender non-binary. I think you're okay.
It's people of sand. Thank you.
People of sand. BDJ said, "Oh, that's gonna be hard. The other characters shown, they look like they might get them wrong." Yep. And then he said, "We homies, let's go." The gang's HMG was the shiznit. Oh, I was a kamikaze medic. Like I would run in, defibrillate, and run out. It was some of the most. Oh my god! And I'm trying to think of the exact weapon that I loved using. I know it was one of the updates, or one of the like unlocked weapons that I could get. Titan to Titan combat, dude. That raiding an enemy Titan ship could be so much fun. It could be so much fun, especially like if you got one of the pod drops on the ground and then shot up and then landed on top of the Titan at some in certain positions. That was like just doing that sort of shit was so much fun. No, nerdy no. 2142 came out, oh god, I think early 2000s. That was 2042. 2042 is that piece of shit that came out. Let's see. There's any way I could play DEI for life. See, that's why it's great to have Duke around. He brings that edge. Okay, yeah. BDJ did confirm 2042. And that game was a piece of shit. Okay, well, we've talked. Well, you know what? Dan Blackroyd, you're right. Phantom Menace needs no changing. It's perfect. It's the masterpiece, the creme de la creme of all Star Wars movies. It's the only Star Wars that you truly need. And you know, it's funny, BDJ, because there for 2142, there are some emulated server possibilities out there. It's just they're not always so populated, unfortunately. I checked out a few of them, and some of them had players, some of them didn't. It was kind of a rough bag. I'll have to look back into it, and I'll maybe like drop it in Melee Games Discord to pass that along, because I would, 2142, get a squad together again. That could be some fun stuff right there. Okay, well, we've been bringing this up more than enough. Black Road confirms it's true for Phantom Menace. The saga starts and ends with the Phantom Menace. Anakin is the hero. All right. Let's jump into this. Oops. Oh, yeah. Star Wars Outlaws. We covered this game when they first dropped the gameplay trailer. Oh God, was that last year?
Oh, his Eclipse was last year.
No, well, that was. I think that was one of them. But I want to say we did cover. It was also. Hang on, I'm trying to, because I know I clipped it out from the Saturday Night Sith when we covered it. Let's see. And it looked like, a very typical third-person cover shooter style of game. Okay, yeah. So we did we saw the video for Star Wars Outlaws gameplay walkthrough, and just the trailer from last year, June 22nd. So that would have been actually like June 13th or something like that, maybe. But yeah, so we did go over the gameplay trailer back then, and now they have their official new story trailer. And yes, I know, like some people pointed out, there's the ratio of right now it's like at 34,000 upvotes versus 122,000 downvotes. Here's the thing. Only some of us have the app to or plug in whatever to see downvotes again. Your normie audience whoever is just randomly, coming across this isn't seeing that. So while it's funny to point out, it doesn't have a lot of weight at the end of the day, sadly. And also because, the average person is still just going to eat it up because it has Star Wars in the name. But
sure.
Let's not to be so down about it, but I mean it's kind of the truth of the matter. Is like it's funny for us to point out and everything, but at the end of the day, what weight does it hold at this point? I don't see a lot at the moment. If there is eventually, awesome. Like I said, I'm happy to be wrong on certain things, but till then, until like this is like a horrible tanked game, all right, then cool, then maybe it had an effect. But I mean, who's really responsible for right now when it comes to games failing? Is it like people like us talking about it? Is it people that play it and review it and everything like that? Or is it also just like right now because of the current economic situation? I know a lot of people are wanting to splurge on these sort of, oh God, I can't think of the word, but they're hobby items and stuff like that, right? So, but anyways, let's get into this.
Each of you represents some of.
Wait, what was that? Captured in engine, not all images appear in game.
Represents some of the most powerful criminal organizations in the galaxy. Pikes, Crimson Dawn, Hutts. It's a golden age for the underworld. The Empire controls every corner of the galaxy, but they're distracted by a rebellion that won't quit. It's an opportunity to make millions.
Kay Vess, the underworld's favorite new scoundrel. We meet at last.
What do you want?
Zarek Besh. They're new, rich, and lethal. You crossed their boss Sliro, and now he wants you.
Okay. Now, I've brought this up in some other chats, but you know what? Let me actually let this play a little bit more.
Now he wants you gone. Rob his fortune, and buy your freedom.
This job, it's a death wish.
So, okay. And really quick, thanks, BD Jake, for hanging out. Says, all right, I'm peacing out for the evening. Take care, all. Be well. Horns up. Rock on. You too, sir. Have a good one. Thanks for hanging out. But as we see, we've got Han Solo here in the Carbonite. So we are taking place in between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. What is another thing that took place in between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi?
What could it be?
What could it be? What could it be? Perhaps a little book called Shadows of the Empire? That's maybe. I can't help but find that this is, and like it is, this new ultimate kind of crime boss is he's our human stand-in for Prince Shizor, who is kind of becoming the top dog for and everything for the criminal syndicates of Black Sun and all that. And meanwhile, we now have our little smuggler girl, who, first, like people pointed out rightly, kind of basically like our Han Solo, but could also be seen as our Dash Rendar stand-in. Like that's kind of where we're going with this. We're getting our new replacement for Shadows of the Empire, essentially, in my opinion. But that could just be me. Let's get back to where we were.
It's a death wish. I'm in.
Out here, you live and die by your reputation. You want to survive? Know the players.
You're new to this world.
What's your problem?
Come back when you're not.
Jabba, right? Look, don't try anything. I got a whole crew surrounding this. Okay, we're skipping that part. For about as long as I can remember, it's just been me and Nix. doing what we have to survive. This job is my one shot at freedom. But if we're gonna pull this off, we need the right crew. And the right ship.
Teamwork.
I hire you because you are one of the best hunters in the Outer Rim.
She's more connected than you let on, Sliro. Bess is mixed up in something bigger. The Outer Rim is a dangerous place. Everyone is fighting for their piece of the galaxy. But all I want is to live free. So I'm gonna risk it all. Hold on, Nick!
Star Wars Outlaws pre-order available now.
And they've got the shitty crate, quote unquote, crate dragon that looks actually like a giant penis. So yeah.
No one's been able to get the Great Dragon right, other than KOTOR.
What's that?
I said nobody's been able to get this Great Dragon correct except for KOTOR.
And one of the earliest for Star Wars open world game, which was a Star Wars Galaxies, who also had crate dragons that were the correct style of crate dragons. And Star Wars Galaxies also had you being able to do in space combat and flying to other planets and all that great stuff. That was what kind of infuriates me, is how these people are attempting so much to rewrite history and like it is, like they, like from their favorite movie, The Last Jedi, kill the past. They're doing everything they can, but then they got fuckers like me that are happy to keep pointing out, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. We had Star Wars Galaxies, which was a very, it was very much a kind of open world style game, had very large planets. And you could go, and especially once Jump to Light Speed dropped, when people could start getting their own ships and stuff like that, and doing all the space travel, combat, and everything else, really opened up things even more. Granted, a little dated by today's standards for gameplay mechanics and all that, but it was its earliest. It was the best, in my opinion. They still have not been able to do that well, and yes, it is kind of looking like they're trying to do, as Brandon Tran said, this game is trying so hard to be like a mashup of Grand Theft Auto and Boba Fett's 1313 game. Very interesting drop. So, yeah, every time I've seen this trailer, though, it's a snooze fest. It doesn't come across as anything interesting. I was already, not going to be going near this game just for the very fact that it's Disney, it's Star Wars, Lucasfilm, and especially because it's Ubisoft, because fuck Ubisoft. So, and especially, you know what? Do you have any extra little thoughts quickly on this trailer, Hitman? Hello. Okay. That aside from the trailer, what also is quite the kick in the pants with this fucking game is goddamn. Oh, I think have they removed it? Oh, you naughty monkeys. I am trying to find the pricing that was originally. Oh, wait, maybe. Oh, I think I know my problem. I didn't go to the pre-order. There we go. There's some of the ridiculousness to this. So to add to the stupid nature of this whole thing, for Star Wars Outlaws, yes, you have your standard edition at $69, $70 marker. But then if you want your 3 days early access along with pre-order bonuses and season pass, you're up to $109.99. And then if you want the Ultimate Edition. Base game pre-order bonus, which I believe the pre-order bonus also. So we got cosmetic pack for your speeder, Trailblazer spaceship, season pass, which is Jabba's Gambit, exclusive mission available at launch. Not even part of the regular game itself for the Jabba aspect of this game. Kessel Run character pack. Again, 3-day early access, Rogue Infiltrator bundle, digital art book, Sabak Shark bundle, which is a cosmetics for Kay and her blaster, Nyx, the speeder, and the Trailblazer, $129.99. They are nickel and diming every little bit they can to make sure they are really gouging you. And like it is, 3 days early access is very Starfield-ish. Definitely for the streamer baits, the streamer cucks out there that want to be there first. And you know, with the again, this is where it's gonna hurt them the most. Is these sort of pricings already, with the fact that video games at a basic price has gone up to $70 instead of the $60 like it already was at. And it's staying the same for digital games. It's not, you'd think with it being digital games, they'd be a little less, but oh no. But hey, I mean, Ubisoft is doing the quadruple A gaming, guys. But no, this is what they're going for. This is definitely, and I agree with like Lethal Lightning and them. This is the biggest issue to take with this whole game is just this pricing. This is they are trying to get away with practical murder of your wallets, essentially. And all I can really suggest is, just try and stay away as best as humanly possible. I mean, don't get wrapped up in the hype. You can do it. I know I did with things like with Cyberpunk. I saw the first gameplay trailer for that game and I walked immediately away because I saw the writing on the wall. They had a very scripted, very, very scripted trailer for what was supposed to be like, on the spot sort of thing. And I saw all the basically like themes of almost like Ubisoft tier stuff going on. So it was very sad to see, but between that very boring trailer and now this, it comes as no surprise that, this is the path that Ubisoft is taking. Hey man, are you muted by chance? Did you actually mute yourself? Your reverberator, like you were talking, but I could be mistaken. You seem to be having problems. While I wait for Hitman to get back, I didn't see nothing in the chat. Okay, nothing in private chat. Okay, so let me get to the chat. Let's see. Red Hoodwink says it wouldn't surprise me if your right fractured. Oh, to the Shadows of the Empire? I don't know. We'll see. Well, other people, I guess we'll see. I'll wait to see what's reported on it. Says Crate Dragon in the game looks more like Dune movie Sandworm. I remember when we first saw it with Mandalorian, I called it basically a graboid. Like, oh great, they're just basically ripping off the graboid, but the Dune worm works as well. Brandon also said Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga version of Crate Dragon, pays more respects to Knights of the Old Republic and is a real dragon. Oh, did they actually have the proper Crate Dragon in that game? That's funny that it takes Lego to do that. And Nerdy Neo says, why is it always only 3 days? It should be at least a week. I mean, for the price that you pay for that early golden ticket, absolutely, yeah. I don't know why 3 days, but maybe that's the time that they, even though it's like 3 days, they didn't have that time to keep it short, so not a lot. I don't know. I can only think that it's just for enough time. So yes, people can be out streaming it, but it doesn't mean that people are necessarily for the regular YouTubers maybe getting out a really detailed review to nail it. I don't know. I only have guesses. Where Hoodlink says Jabba's quest is in the base game, but you can't interact with it unless you pay for the additions. Okay, that's good to clear up. Still, that's scary as hell, but that's not surprising. Brendan Trent says Ubisoft is becoming the new EA, locking content behind DLC. Maybe it's also they always were kind of another version of EA. They're just a French version.
Well, it's funny. There's Ubisoft France, and then there's Ubisoft Montreal, which I'd say Ubisoft hasn't. I haven't. Well, I tell you, I said this at work the other day. Ubisoft hasn't been good since the Splinter Cell franchise, and I'll fight anybody who wants to fight me on that. Splinter Cell was the single most just fantastic franchise. I don't think there's a bad Splinter Cell.
I've heard a lot of good things about this. I was always kind of on the other side of the fence just because I was a huge Metal Gear Solid fan. And there's kind of a rivalry between the two, much like your Star Wars and Star Trek.
Well, Sam Fisher would definitely take.
I never gave it a fair chance. I really need to go and play those games someday.
Who's the main guy who's Snake Eyes? What's his name?
Metal Gear Solid, it was Solid Snake, and then it eventually became they put front and center Big Boss, who became my favorite character.
Splinter Cell just shows you how the NSA does not care if you mess up. Like you are erased on your own volition. Do these missions on your own volition. It's not like more like Mission Impossible or like that, but it was. I mean, some of Tom Clancy did some pretty. I think it's just fantastic. Chaos Theory is probably my favorite.
Black Snake wins.
I don't know. I think Sam Fisher gave him run for
Liquid was the real hero. I can kind of see that. He tried. Liquid Snake tried. But that damn fox died. And then he became Liquid Ocelot, and then it just got weird. Sorry, we're Hitman.
I was just saying. I think I personally think Sam Fisher gives old Snake Eyes a run for his money, and by run for his money, it means it's Michael Ironside, man. Like how do you be like fantastic? Come on.
They did do a really nice kind of tribute too for from Splinter Cell to Metal Gear. Crap. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see. Yeah, hang on. It's mentioned Solid Snake. I actually liked it. Like, even though I'm not a big Sam Fisher fan, I was just like, oh, that was a nice little tribute. Oh, now I understand Liquid Blake. Okay. They stole my arm. I get it now. Now it'll make sense. Nerdy Neo also says Splinter Cell is fantastic, but Ubi has done a bunch of good stuff. Most recently, the Prince of Persia game. I've heard that's kind of up in the air. Chaos Theory is the best Splinter Cell, says Nerdy Neo. So he's with you there.
Oh, so good.
But yeah, there is. Hang on. Oh, that's doing all the. I just want the main. Oh, I don't want a compilation. I just want just the. It's just kind of funny because you're just like, oh, I'm the last one. Because I mean, for the most part, the Metal Gear series is now just kind of ended. Which, thank Christ. I have a lot of problems with Metal Gear Solid 4 particularly. And 5, but neither here nor there. Anyway, but yeah. Let me pull this up really quick. I thought this was...
Yeah, a few. I've heard they don't make them like me anymore. There was this other guy, though. Army infiltration. Or Bandana or something.
I heard he finally retired.
Really?
Yep.
It's only me.
Sam.
Yeah,
Got the old Snake theme playing in there.
I do.
It's only me now. Nice little, just kind of reference to the good old Snake. Dan Blackbird says it ended with 4. Yeah, but God. 4, and it's funny because 4 did a lot. They were talking about what they were going to do with 4. They ended up doing with 5 with like all the like the capturing of like enemy units and stuff like that, and that just pissed me off. He says, "Don't even bother with 5. 5 is just good." Thank you. Yes, I agree. 5 is just good for the gameplay. It is. That's the best part of it. Sadly, Kojima was up his own ass completely by that point. He was in charge of Konami and ran it into the ground, and they kicked him out, and they're like, "We're done with you." and then Sony was like, "Oh, sure, come on over to us." And then he makes his whole walking simulator game, and it's like, oh, Christ. I'd still say like Metal Gear Solid 3 is just the peak of that series, because that was before he lost one of his main writers that a lot of people think kind of tarred wrangled Kojima and a lot of his kind of crazy ideas and helped make it more into kind of a cohesive story versus what he was always trying to do with a lot of his batshit insane story ideas and plots and stuff like that. But Metal Gear Solid 3 is tops. 4 is 4 was just like nothing but a giant long running movie. That was where it's like, oh, Kojima really just wants to make a fucking movie. And he's basically using us as guinea pigs for it, because it had little to no gameplay. And it was sad because I was really hyped for Metal Gear Solid 4. I was looking forward to it. And God, like the Octo camo was kind of cool, but I still think I liked a little more of the camo system in 3. But it was kind of neat with the callbacks going back to Shadow Moses, but in a new kind of 3D world versus what it looked like in the PlayStation 1 days, or even if you played the GameCube version. But oh God, like I wanted so much more out of that game. But I do believe like once Tomokazu Fukushima had left, that was when, because like basically as soon as he left, that's when Metal Gear Solid 4 hit. And when things just kind of went the route it did. It's sad, but I got a good meme for it. I might have to post it later. Nerdy this was from Ghost Recon Wildlands. Yeah. Well, yep. It was a fun co-op game. Red Hoodwink says, "Poor Sam, LOL, realizing how old he is getting." Dude, I mean, that's kind of a funny thing. It's like for some of us who like we realize like how old some of these games are and some of the game characters are, and you're like, oh shit, they've been around this long. Oh god damn. Dan Blackbird says 2 and 3 were fucking nuts stories wise. Dead Cell and the Cobra Unit, batshit crazy characters. Absolutely, but I felt like the story was structured better. And it stuck better to some of the themes and stuff like that. And then like it was overall gameplay, I really liked 3. 3 I thought was, especially Metal Gear Solid 3, the subsistence version. Once it got like down more to like the definite more third person behind the back camera angle, worked out really well for that game. And I think I don't know. There's some things I think I kind of like that whole like they did like the whole like kind of James Bond sort of play, especially with the theme Snake Eater and everything. The theme was incredible. Oh God, what's it? Hang on, I have the soundtrack. Let's see, because I forget the guy's. exact name who did the Metal Gear Solid theme for that game. And did the soundtrack for Metal Gear Solid 4, or at least certainly a good portion of it. Weird. Where did my music go? Oh no! Did I put it somewhere else? Shoot, where did it? Oh, okay, there we go. Metal Gear Solid. Harry Gregson Williams. There it is. Yeah. Dan Black Gregson, yeah. Harry Gregson Williams. He did it, like some of those tracks were fantastic, phenomenal. Especially like it was the main theme for the game was great, and then also they had and I mean the funny thing is all the Metal Gears are batshit insane in some degree. Maybe one yeah, he did 1, 2, 3, and then also did 4. He did some of the tracks, so and like he says, yeah, and then the what was it, the Beauty and Beast unit or whatever happened in 4. A bunch of chicks in skin tight outfits and shit like that, and weird mech beast suits. Like it was. I mean, even Metal Gear Solid 1 had Psycho Mantis, Vulcan Raven, Sniper Wolf. They all had such outlandish elements to it, but I just felt like it. I think my main complaint with like 4 is just that the gameplay was so limited to what the previous games had given us, with like the exploration of the different levels, especially like the Metal Gear Solid 1, how much you got to explore around Shadow Moses on the base. And 3 in particular, just the way you're going through the different zones and could hide and destroy. The great thing was like destroying the food stores. So then eventually you would make the enemy units weaker, and you'd occasionally hear them, their stomachs grumbling, going, "Oh, I'm so hungry," and stuff like that. Like I thought there was a lot of great mechanics they brought out in 3 that also just didn't quite make the return in 4 and stuff like that. Yeah, little did we know what was to come with Quiet. Yeah, I think we kind of got the hints from Metal Gear Solid 4. Foxhound was awesome in 1. Like I said, yeah, Psycho Mantis, Vulcan Raven, Sniper Wolf, Liquid Snake, Ocelot. They were all a great collection of characters. Yeah, same here. Like I said, going around Shadow Moses in 4 was the fun part, and then getting to fight in Metal Gear Rex, which is the superior Metal Gear. That was also a lot of fun. And I think like it is too. I just kind of became to like Big Boss as a character a lot more. I know he's supposed to be the villain and everything, but like he definitely became one of my favorite characters of that series. And what I've started using for like the looks of from like my character in some games, where I'll give them, it's like the reason why I'll give my characters in video games the eye patch look and everything.
Splinter Cell's still better.
I enjoy games. There are games I like and I can be positive about. Look, Blake, we might have to talk some Metal Gear someday. I think that'd be fun. Because I've loved that series for a long time. I'm really sad the path it went down, but God, it was a lot of fun. It was a very fun series. Kojima is just high on his own farts at this point now. I mean, he can get a good team together and get them to pump out a good, like, gameplay and everything, but man, his stories are just so bunked. Gray Fox, another great character. I wish he got more shine. Dude, that was what I was hoping with Metal Gear Solid 5. I wanted that proper introduction with Gray Fox, and then maybe like that would have been where we also got the introduction for Naomi and everything. Them being introduced to Big Boss. I thought we were going to see like maybe a young Sniper Wolf, because she talked about encountering Big Boss during a early time in her life. And she called him Saladin. And I used that name for a while. So they're same. Doubtful, fractured. It's like more like black-pilled fractured at this point. I admit I could be a negative son of a bitch when it comes to gaming and stuff like that. But hey, I have the positive points too. It's like he's got to get me on the right topics. Unfortunately, right now we're surrounded by so much garbage. Not my fault. Okay, let's see.
I just realized.
What's up?
I just realized it's Singularity's on the docket for tonight.
That's right.
Korra's better.
We're watching them all. Oh my god. Okay, so I start out with so many of these topics with
yeah, I might have to save some for next week.
I recognize this after like when I clip out some of the stuff, but it's like such a good point for me to know when. Oh, hey, a topic's starting.
Yeah.
But Capcom has stepped in it big. And thanks to over on Twitter X, Grums, aka Mark Kern, he had this selected out in particular. So yeah, he says breaking. Capcom goes full woke in their light localization, which we have talked about already. Thanks to what was that company? Oh, Dragon Baby something. Oh God. Hang on, what was it? It's almost something close to Sweet Baby Inc., but not quite. God, there's been so many goofy Dragon Baby localization. But here we have changes, characters, gameplay, and more for DEI. This is their Osaka-based localization team. That's in the heart, folks. So you can't say they aren't making their way across the pond, which is full of Westerners in localization who are extremely left-leaning, and I think it's just left-leaning at this point, personally, and control the narrative. How do I know? My insider scoop posts tomorrow. But he did have this where from the tweet below with the Capcom localization. So, embarked on a global adventure through the lens of game localization beyond mere translation. We're diving into the art of cultural adaptation, preserving context and inclusive storytelling. Under cultural sensitivity and character design and development must be culturally sensitive. Under inclusive language and representation, addressing gender-specific language, cultural norms, and diverse perspectives. For the importance of context, even gameplay elements might need a little cultural remix. And that is part of the whole post in here. Those were certainly some fine bullet points, but this is the whole thing. I can link this if you see fit to go over it yourself just to see it. But unfortunately, this is going to be the path of ruin. You are no longer in there. I know Chiefs and I were talking about this earlier as well. There are some Japanese developers that even they will say their games are too Japanese. And yet that is the whole reason why we get specific games of different regions, is to experience the game, creatives from different parts of the world, different perspectives, different this, different that. We and people go to particular things for that flavor of what the Japanese put into their games. the humor, the perspective, the storytelling elements, all the tropes that they have for what they do with their stories, all that sort of things that come together that people want to, and that's like why I've gravitated. I've always loved the Japanese RPGs, the kind of outlandish elements and stuff like that. I've enjoyed a lot of their stories. Now, granted, some is from early translations were not always great, but I mean, they were not driving things in such a way to push these particular culture, quote unquote, cultural things. Welcome back, sir.
Keep getting kicked.
But Capcom, unfortunately, they're taking this path. They've always been kind of going down this road. I've seen a lot of the localization problems when it's come to even the Yakuza series or Like a Dragon, however you want to look at the titling for that franchise. But they've made changes to their games for the Western audience. A lot of people pointed out, and I mean, it's unfortunately it's been an insidious thing that's been it's crept in, and like Kern points out, this is their, for their Osaka branch, and that's what that Baby Dragon place was too. It was in the heart. I think it was in Tokyo. These places are getting in. These people are moving to Japan. They are, this is how they work. This is how they operate. This is why, people don't like the idea of the whole cancel culture, firing people for all this, that. You're going to have to do something, folks. Something's going to have to be done if you want to. And it also, become translators yourselves. If you got a knack for language and stuff like that, I don't. I'm a retard. I could barely get through Spanish. But again, like I've said before, it's going to take a lot of your own researching into games and stuff like that, and stepping away, drawing a line. Can be kind of the theme. Draw that line. Don't let them cross it. Don't let them take advantage of you through whatever, social manipulation and stuff like that, and just say no. I'm not buying your game because you're pushing your ideological crap. And you're just gonna have to, something's gonna have to happen for this to be for something to really change. So this is kind of like the little update in terms of what's localization, what's happening. We've had Baby Dragon. Now we've got Capcom going full headbore with their own localization teams in Osaka, making these changes to their game. So that means you're going to see it in your Resident Evils, if not already. Like I said, also the Yakuza Like a Dragon series. If they ever make a new Mega Man, God forbid, if they ever make a new Breath of Fire, think of all the games Capcom has under their umbrella, and this is what you're looking at. So I just kind of wanted to touch on this aspect really quick because, unfortunately, even the Japanese think they have to chase the Western mindset to keep being a global, to perform globally when they don't. And if anything, I'd say get rid of these sort of things, do in-house translations, keep it that way. And like I've always said, maybe if you have to do some things grammatically, fine, but don't allow these parasites to get a hold and change your games all to cater to the mentally ill, basically. Because I mean, it's happened with even they add quote unquote flavor text. It's been again, Chiefs and I were talking about this. It came to like one of the Monster Hunter games, all for just telling somebody to go to the tutorial. They had to add in all this extra crap about the character would say to you, if you want to get good, well, I don't like that term, but if you want to learn, basically, if you just want to learn more, here's where you can go for the tutorial sort of stuff. So it's spreading. It's going to take a time to where you have to, step back. Make even stronger choices of going, nope, not buying that. Nope, not buying that. So gonna have to get real extreme real fast. You have any thoughts on the localization stuff?
I just I don't know. I'm not surprised. It's just another.
No, it's not surprising. It's just unfortunate. It's another one of those things where it's like, okay, you got people. You got
Capcom. Did Capcom do a lot of not Nintendo games?
No. Capcom, like I said, is things like
I've played Capcom games. I'm drawing a blank.
It's like Resident Evil, the Yakuza series, Mega Man, Monster Hunter. Oh God, what else?
There's more.
Street Fighter. Street Fighter, Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah.
It's probably been the biggest is probably Street Fighter.
If you can't beat them, join them, I guess, as they always say. So,
right.
But these companies are probably, like Sweet Baby Inc. and all these companies, and what are probably making it very hard to be in the gaming industry if you're not pushing, ESG and ESG
and all that crap.
And we've talked about that. It's like if can you be an independent gamer taking a game to the market if you're not going to kind of bend the knee? So it's at this point in time, nothing shocks me anymore. It's another, like, I'm just waiting for, Bethesda's already fallen. Blizzard has fallen. Blizzard did freaking Diablo. They're gone.
Blizzard's down. Activision down.
You say Ubisoft. Are you talking about Ubisoft and all its subsidiaries, or just Ubisoft?
Ubisoft as a whole is just completely borked. Yes.
I don't think Montreal was borked though. What other games did Ubisoft?
It's Canada, so yeah, they're especially just completely fucked.
Well, I mean, like I said, the Splinter Cell games are fantastic.
Well, they were when they were first doing them.
Well, they still are because they still haven't lost their mojo.
Well, if you go back and replay them, absolutely. So yeah.
No,
unfortunately,
yeah. Nothing surprises me anymore, man. So it's like I'm surprised that they lasted as long as they did.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Nerdy Neo Singularity is the one with Cassandra, the little girl. Damn Black Red. You know what else is coming up? Hammond Bush. Red Hoodwink. This is insanity. It is complete insanity. Imp Black Belt. Hey, how's it going, man? Saying, I don't know. I don't like cancel culture trying to get people fired for the sin of disagreeing with someone's opinion online. It's not a happy thing, but it's a culture war. Sometimes you have to fight fire with fire. He says, I am absolutely on board with the idea of firing miscreants and malcontents who want to do things to spite their customers. Well, and that's like the thing. How do you discern who's doing it out of those reasons? Because to them, they're doing it for altruistic reasons. They're on the quote unquote right side of history. That's how they see themselves. They see themselves as these freedom fighters. They can do no wrong. So, like I said, you just got to kind of fight a little fire with fire. They certainly aren't doing that with us. It also says, we all knew this was exactly what was coming up. The larger companies were doing it in-house all along. Oh, and I mean, smaller companies, Jesus, CD Projekt Red came out, a year or two ago with their whole ESG DEI video detailing everything that they were doing, so they were ESG compliant. It's sad, but although I guess I don't know if CD Projekt was fully bought out by somebody like WB or anything, but yeah, it's unfortunate. Even small companies. Red Hoodwink says they don't, but I wonder if the market is starting to restrict certain games from Japan because it's not quote unquote woke enough. Maybe it's a possibility. In Black Belt says Capcom has been doing it for a fucking while now. They just didn't stop to the blatant level of giving their girls man jaws. And you can see that it crept in with some of the Resident Evil, I think 4 with the remake, and they definitely gave Claire in 2 remake a bit of a butterface. The OG is still the cutest. And Black Belt says, so while everyone's going ape shit over shit like Ubisoft and Microsoft going down so blatantly, Capcom has been doing it quietly, and now they're so far gone. And I've stayed away from Capcom for a long time, unfortunately. Like I checked out the Resident Evil 2 remake. Gameplay is solid, but I didn't like how they tried to combine A side, B side together into one storyline. It made repeat playthroughs pointless, in my opinion. And I preferred the way they had A side, B side for the different aspects of the game, and then you had mainly Tyrant, and then B side you had mainly Mr. X. That added that different flavor to the combat and stuff like that. Just didn't gel well with me. So certain aspects were there, but I'd still say like the Resident Evil 1 remake is still probably the top tier one. And he says, yeah, CD Projekt Red's DEI video is still online. It does not surprise me. I mean, they have to do that for basically their global compliance and shit, right? So they keep that shit up. And we all had. Again, Chiefster and I were talking about this. We had such hopes for CD Projekt Red. They seemed like they're going in such a right direction and all that, but goddamn, it's always sad to see. Now, here's the question. I potentially have one more trailer we could go through. Or do we want to maybe launch into some Stargate now? Are we at that point, or?
I think I was going to say Stargate, but I mean, we do the trailer really quick if you want.
Because this is going to fall certainly with your camp, sir, being that you're a DC guy.
Oh, no.
I think you know what I'm going to be going towards. Joker the musical.
No.
Joker 2. Should we take a look at this trailer? Did you want to see it?
I mean, I know it's going to be trash, but you can play it. Yeah, some of it work was talking about it. Ugh. So just they've bastardized the role of Joker.
I mean, it's not even really like the Joker because it's just using the name of the Joker to sell a movie.
Oh, for sure.
It's not even like legitimately the character. Yeah. Red Hoodwinked. Oh no, not that trailer. Yeah. And in Black Belt had said, depends on which trailer it is. I don't know if he's caught up yet and heard that it's the Joker trailer. But yeah.
Where do you find this?
Red Hoodwinked is just go to Stargate, please.
Yeah, that's what I'm going for. I don't even want to sit through this.
That is fine with me. I think I've heard this freaking trailer more than enough. I am fine with that idea. I just thought I would, throw it
because my hemorrhoid's already acting up, and if I watch this trailer, they're gonna explode. So let's just go to Stargate, please. Save me the pain. I'm already sitting on a donut right now.
Oh,
because it's that bad. Is it the same Joaquin Phoenix one?
Yes.
Yeah, Stargate. Bye. Bye, Felicia. Yeah. Where's my? I need to bring my Bye, Felicia bell. I will watch the last Singularity time after time again. Like I'd watch it 15 times in a row if it meant I didn't have to spend 2 minutes watching the trailer.
All right. For anybody that does want to,
where are people at? Where's Static? Where's Bradley?
We just figured out what we're gonna do. So, and anybody that maybe wants to join, there is the Discord link if you want to watch along, or if you just want to listen, that's fine too. Now let me. Nerdy Neo says Joker was such an overrated movie.
It wasn't even the story of the Joker, though. That's the.
It wasn't. That was this. It was just a mentally disturbed man being called the Joker.
It's like
it was all in his head.
Gamera was Godzilla.
Red Hoodwink says, "I've already seen it on Trashcast. I don't want to watch it again." LOL. I don't blame you. I heard they were going over it on the Full Aussie Channel show, the Back of the Ute. So I've watched it myself already. So, but I just wasn't sure if Hitman had seen it.
No, I haven't, and on principle of the matter, because I get furious when people say Joaquin was the Joker. I'm like, no, he wasn't. Nor was Leto. Leto was not the Joker. Not my hashtag. Not my Joker. Hashtag. Not my president.
Oh, all right.
What's the difference between Gamera and Godzilla, by the way?
Gamera is a giant fire-breathing turtle, while Godzilla is an irradiated giant lizard.
He literally looks like Godzilla.
Okay, so I've sent out the link, and let me do our usual thing here.
Literally looks like Godzilla.
What the heck? Wasn't playing for me. Was it playing for you properly, or I was just seeing it was getting sound?
No, it was playing.
Oh.
This is bullshit. I want Bush. Pan down. We've got Bush.
Oh, hello, pie.
Okay. Dan Blacker said if it was Marvel, there would be 100 videos from the Fellowship telling us why it isn't Joker from the source material, but most are praising it. Dude, I know. I've heard so much of that shit. And I'm just like, nah, no thanks. And I mean, even Ripa said it was just basically like, the users prop up on their soapbox. All it was. Turtle that can rocket, and Spartacus. Hey, who's in here with us? Hello, sir. How are you today?
Hello, gentlemen.
You ready for some Stargate?
Maybe, possibly. Good luck with that.
Perhaps.
There's a good possibility.
The correct answer is always ready for Stargate.
Definitely.
No ifs, ands, or buts about it with it, man.
No, absolutely.
Okay, you're getting your Hammond Bush. You're good. Don't worry. Here we go.
Okay.
Chat, can you hear the kitty?
Meow.
Stargate activating.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, now I'm going to be sharing the screen in Discord. Let's go. So pumped. All right, here we go, boys.
I see the Stargate.
Stargate is there for you.
So what exactly are we going to see after this eclipse begins? I mean, it is black and it is a hole.
Well, it might be.
Oh, this one. This is a fun episode.
Okay, let me put that a different way.
No, Daniel, you're right. You
All
can't
right, cool,
actually
guys.
see
You're
it.
good.
Not the singularity itself. It's so massive, not even light can escape it. But during the totality phase of the eclipse, we should be able to see matter spiraling towards it.
Actually, it's called the accretion disk.
Hey there, Paul Doken. How's it going, sir?
What did you just say?
And hey, Acid, how are you, sir? If I can't watch Stargate, it's culturally inappropriate. Ban it. Well, too bad. We're playing it.
We need a cultural purification. That's what Stargate gives us.
Not initially.
Hey, Fracture, do you mind if I let Big Dog Jake into the Discord?
I dropped the Discord link in the chat. Unless you wanted to give him the invite to here, which sure, you can do that.
Well, I mean, to at least to watch it with us. He's never apparently watched a Stargate, so
yeah, absolutely.
It should be.
Like I said, I did drop the Discord link in the chat, so it should be there. But if I need to drop it again, we can do that.
I found it, and I can just send it to him.
Oh, cool. Thank you, sir.
It's a dead body.
All right, mop.
Looking a little zombie-ish there. Double tap, boys. Double tap.
Daniel, you and teal'c check the village. See why no one's missed this guy, where everyone else is. We've got the observatory. All right, move
I
out.
could have sworn I've seen plenty of movies, plenty of horror movies start out like this.
Right?
Strangely enough.
Be extra careful.
Strangely enough, even with a giant ring in the background and an alien walking around with the group.
Where is everyone?
Well, I mean, hey, Hitman hadn't watched Stargate until we started pestering him to watch it, and that was most recently. So, hey, not everybody's been quite in the loop like the rest of us. But I didn't even watch it when the show was first airing myself, so.
I did.
Hello, Mr. Fancy Pants.
My pants are quite fancy. Well, actually, I'm wearing right now sweatpants.
Following it up, don't ya? Don't ya?
I'm actually kind of wearing sweatpants with my high school's logo on the side of them, so. They're like a size big, so they still fit me. They're size big on me, so. The Singularity. They're all clean now.
This complex has been totally decontaminated. How many dead?
We estimate about 1,000.
Why didn't they send a message, some warning this was happening?
We don't know.
All this happened very quickly.
Now there
Well,
may
someone sneezed, another person coughed, and then they all dropped dead.
We'll use Eric's room. Colonel, you said you touched one of the victims before putting on gloves?
Yeah, but I washed my hands right away.
No, you were first.
You're the doc.
She's probably one of my favorite TV doctors.
Allergies, right?
VD Jake, look, I am now. Yes, you are. That's good.
We're supposed to tag the bodies we find with these.
Why doesn't teal'c have a suit? I don't know. Maybe because of the symbiote in his belly.
The indigenous people.
Lucky son of a gun.
They told me when we came here 3 months ago that with the darkness would come the apocalypse. It was part of their mythology.
What did we tell them? It's just an eclipse, and there's nothing to worry about.
Well, you got proven wrong, didn't you? Egg on your face.
I saw his head move. I just saw his head move. One of the guys in the background.
Yeah.
I just saw his head move. I'm like, wait, what the? I've never seen that before. Careful, it's a velociraptor. Could be, anyways.
No, it's okay. You can
It's a
come
clever
out.
girl.
I know I must look pretty
Don't go
scary
into
in
the
this
long
mask, but
grass.
I'm not gonna hurt you. It's okay.
You? Fear of FEMA.
In the bushes and they won't come out.
Well, hopefully there's no xenomorphs around, so I think we should be okay.
I mean, the closest thing to that is what's inside teal'c's belly.
Good point.
It is something that's an alien that has to live off of another in order to live.
Very true. Yeah. Really? Never? Nerdy Neo? He says, I never realized how attractive Dr. Fraser was until rewatching it recently. She was always one of my favorites. Her and Sam for sure.
It is okay.
Yoko smiling. Who are these strange people in yellow suits?
It's okay. Don't worry, everything's gonna be fine.
Take off the damn mask. You don't need them.
Very brave. Can I take this mask off?
No, we have not been cleared by the government yet.
Like we're dealing with a bacteria infection. Just don't get too close.
Well, and here's what you can do, BD Jake, is just mute in Discord, because you should still hear if you got the stream going at the same time, you should still hear it. Although I guess it would be a little off, wouldn't it?
You remember my name?
Then mute YouTube. Well,
right.
Samantha.
Well, he's missing the our commentary, so
yeah.
Oh no, honey. You're not gonna die.
We think.
Why don't you just lay down and rest for a while, okay?
Poor girl.
And Nerdy Neo says I always had the biggest crush on Dr. Keller from Atlantis.
This can't be.
She's a cutie.
She's infected, isn't she? No, she's not.
Well, what's wrong then?
There are traces of the element the Stargate is made of in her blood.
Naquita?
Yeah. Now, it's possible that's the reason she was able to resist the infection.
That is so weird.
Well, I have some bad news. The samples my team collected show the entire area to be contaminated. It's in the water.
You're all infected.
Now, the bacteria doesn't
You're
seem
all
to be
screwed.
airborne, but it has a unique ability to survive in a variety of environments.
Listen, I hate to sound self-centered here, but
Your tests are fine.
What of the girl?
No sign of infection, and as a precaution, I did an ultrasound to make sure she wasn't parasitically infested with the Gould.
So she goes back with us.
And she's not pregnant, thank
Someone to stay
God.
up. I mean, we're safe right now, aren't we?
What kind of society was this?
Captain.
Sir, the eclipse happens in less
Well,
than
one where they had short
These are
lives, so they had to
unmarked.
get ready to get at an
Oh,
early
no.
age.
photograph the black hole with this telescope. It could change the course of human history. I don't want to belittle what's happened here, but if we just pack up and leave, SG-7 and all
Fear
these people
FEMA
will
says
die for
Dr.
nothing.
Lamb all the way. We still talking SG-1? Is that the gal that came later?
She will possess your soul.
You won't be staying.
Dead by dawn, dead by dawn.
I will remain. I am not at risk.
Yeah, I'll stay too.
I've never. Sam's like, I've never wanted a daughter, but well, now I have one.
Suddenly she's like, suddenly the maternal instincts are kicking in.
You okay?
Don't be afraid. I'll be holding your hand the whole way, all right? I know it looks kind of scary, but it's really a lot of fun.
Well, besides the chill, the freezing cold temperatures, and also being almost thrown out on the other end.
On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Let's do it. Yeah. Okay, Fear Famous' Last Doctor, yeah. Yeah, I had to look it up really quick.
Level 1 decontamination complete. Proceed with level 2.
Okay, it's okay. It's okay. Wasn't so bad, was it?
Big Dog Jake over on Rumble. Thank you, sir, saying like the stream and follow the Rumble channel, nerds.
This is where you're gonna stay.
Thank you
for a
very
little while,
much,
okay?
sir. Appreciate it.
I know it's nothing fancy, but we'll fix it up.
Her ancestors, her people have not been on Earth for thousands of years.
Yeah. It's been a while.
Now, I have to go somewhere for a little while, but I promise you I won't be gone long, okay?
Damn, she's got iron grip.
Death grip, yep.
I have to go, but I'll be able to see you the whole time through that camera up there, see?
What's a camera?
Just like the government, we're always watching.
Don't worry, we'll make sure that the FBI doesn't record when you're in the bathroom.
I'll stay for a little while.
Or the CIA.
Well, can't always promise with them.
The Department of Homeland Security have not been created yet.
All right.
Or the Patriot Act has not been signed into law yet.
I can't blame her for being terrified. Believe me, it was not pretty over there.
What happened?
We counted 1,432 dead. I believe we may be indirectly responsible.
How?
It's possible someone from Earth brought a normally harmless bacteria to that planet. It
Daniel.
Local organism that mutated into the most deadly infectious strain I've ever encountered.
Are you absolutely positive?
Oh God, you're right, Nerdy Neo. She is the government. We're screwed.
Doctor.
So somehow this little girl survived against all odds on a completely contaminated planet. I'm hoping she has some sort of natural immunity that we might use in fighting other serious infections already here on Earth.
Why didn't the telescope team report that this outbreak was going on?
We don't know.
We're a little unsure.
Yeah. We usually put some stuff on it like this. See?
That's just really sad.
That's macabre.
Yes, it is. Don't worry, I'm here. I'm just not as thin as that stick figure.
You're not alone anymore.
Not a one-to-one representation of me, but it'll do for now.
This is fun. Only 8 hours to go. Sweet.
I still do not understand this black hole.
Well, it's a hole that's so black because it sucks in all the light.
Thing. It's a But basically, it's a massive hole out there.
I see.
And what happens is everything gets sucked into it, even light.
Everything.
That's why we can't see it. Just gets sucked in.
Thank you.
Sure.
Why couldn't Carter be here to answer that question?
I think Daniel would even be better at it. Which is funny because I could have sworn that like Jack was always viewing space.
Yeah.
Hey. How you feeling? Listen, I have to go somewhere for a little while. But you're not going to be alone. Daniel's going to be here the whole time. Remember Daniel?
But I want you. You're my new mommy now.
Brave, remember?
I don't trust the creepy nerd.
I'll be back before you know it.
Please don't go.
You're my new mommy.
Oh, God.
You feel like telling me your name?
Cassandra.
Hi, Cassandra.
Cassandra the Destroyer.
Oh, no. Well, that's later. That's later.
Sounds good. No fluid in her lungs.
She described it more like a sharp stabbing pain.
I have no idea what to say or do. Her latest blood work shows a marked potassium deficiency. I have no idea what is causing it or how it could have gotten so low so quickly, but one of the effects can be arrhythmia.
Now, you're sure she doesn't have the disease?
Positive. These are not the symptoms of a bacterial infection.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Let's go back to our room. Thank you. You are welcome. Good. What is it? Get her on the table. What is it? She's got an irregular heartbeat. She's in arrest. What do I do? We got a cardiac arrest, potassium deficiency. Get me a number 7 popped endotracheal tube now. Defib, stop CPR. Defib, 60 joules. Come on, come on.
The crash guard.
Clear.
Got the patches. Clear.
She's alive.
Hallelujah.
I want you to notify the ICU. I want her potassium levels rechecked stat.
Get on it. Get on it in the lab.
Wait. Oh my God. What is it? Get me a chest x-ray stat. I don't know, listen.
That's not right.
He's a roboid.
Unfortunately, it's terminal.
Oh, no.
What is it?
I don't know, but it wasn't there 10 hours ago.
Mother instincts kicking in. Mama Bear's about to come out.
I'm inserting the scope. Image up.
Pulse normal.
I'm advancing the scope.
Pulse is rising.
Nerdy Neo, and it still doesn't suck as good as your mom does. Hey-yo!
Oh.
But the black hole, that is. The black hole.
Well, parts of it are organic.
You don't get to walk that
I'm gonna
back,
move in
Nerdy
closer
Neo.
and try
No,
to get
you
a
don't.
biopsy.
Pulse is now 140.
I'm scraping the harder surfaces for samples.
We have to stop.
Just a little more. Removing scope. Prepare the paddles. Charging. Clear.
Wait! Pulse is normal.
What the hell is going on here? Damn wonky equipment. What we get for buying from
Give it a good slap a couple times, it'll work.
Doesn't look like it. Not without killing her. Now, Dr. Warner managed to get us some samples. I'm hoping the results of the analysis will tell us more about what this object is.
Thank you, Doctor.
Mom?
She doesn't look too good.
Your mom's dead. I'm your new mommy now.
I was dreaming about my mom.
I miss your mom very much.
I'm tired.
You should get some rest. Don't worry. Everything's going to be just fine. And when you get better, I promise you, I am going to show you all kinds of really wonderful things about this planet.
Promise?
You bet.
Aww.
That was well timed.
That's on purpose.
In front of a studio audience.
She's fine. Sleeping.
If you want, I can sit with her tomorrow for a few hours.
No.
PDJ guy, I'm thinking about your mom too, kid. And that blonde talking to you.
Oh, gee.
Okay. I guess what I'm saying is that you don't have to do
Fear
this.
FEMA, I'm your new mommy, and I'm gonna be your super delinquent. I'm gonna be super delinquent in raising you.
Oh God!
Pass the kid off on the Fraser, so she's more around for the kid than Sam is.
Yeah, I mean that is kind of true. Spoilers.
Oops.
Systems are online. The eclipse has reached its totality.
The layer of fatty tissue between the two sides of the object is decaying. Very slowly, mind you, but still.
What's the significance?
I'm about to do an experiment to find out. One side of the object is made up of a combination of iron and potassium. The other side is made up of the element that makes up the Stargate.
What?
I'm assuming it's the naquita that was in her blood. Somehow the object is collecting it.
Now, potassium can be one of the most volatile alkali metals on Earth, combined with even a small concentration of naquita.
That doesn't sound very good.
The room you're looking at.
Don't say.
It's the floor of this complex. It's lead sealed. Let's see what happens when we put the two objects together.
Where are the samples?
I'm only using a microscopic particle of each.
Just a particle. Nothing too major should happen.
Nothing at
Things off
all.
the scale, gamma and particle radiation.
Are we safe?
Yeah, but we have a big problem.
Well, if two microscopic particles could cause that.
Then the object inside Cassandra could cause a nuclear reaction 1,000,000 times bigger.
Bogus.
She's a bomb. A very powerful bomb. A world-ending bomb.
Who's ready to end it?
Hey, that's a little funny. That shouldn't be there.
What is that?
A star, perhaps.
Hit the zoom.
Enhance. Enhance.
It's way too close to be a star. Pull back.
That's not
Look at what we got here.
What is that?
It is a Goa'uld attack vessel.
We are fucked.
Run.
It has to be. The Goa'ulds wiped out every last living person on that planet except Cassandra. And then they made us think that it was our fault because they knew we wouldn't leave her there. They knew we would bring her back here. And they used the technology to put that thing inside of her.
It's like they designed a way for us to help them create the device after she came through the Stargate, so we wouldn't detect it until it was too late.
We gave her iron supplements. We may even have turned the device on with a jolt of electricity when we resuscitated her.
You're saying it's meant to destroy us?
At least this complex. The threat to the Goa'ulds, the Stargate.
They used that little girl like a Trojan horse.
How long do we have?
They are
1 hour and
not the best people around.
You can predict it that accurately.
Cellular decay, the tissue Dr. Warner
Nerdy Neo. Yo, she the bomb.
Oh, God. Yeah, a bit literal, yes.
Yes, quite literally.
That must not be good to sit in your chest like that.
Right?
How could they do this?
Well, I mean, it is the Goa'uld.
Goa'uld, she's not as we see her. She's a tool. Her death is a very cheap way to get rid of us.
I know I am supposed to be detached.
Yeah, but then mommy instincts are kicking in.
Mama Bear kicks in.
Sometimes I forget you're not military.
It's the ship of the Goa'uld Newty.
Even military has feelings.
Oh, what the hell is that?
Gliders.
Look, sir, I know this decision isn't easy for you.
In fact, the decision is quite easy. The consequences are what's difficult.
There has to be another way.
I've been assured there is absolutely no way to remove the object from the girl without killing her.
BDJ, daddy instincts are kicking in here. Need to go talk to mommy.
Oh, God.
1 hour and 20 minutes left.
You, me, broom closet, 15 minutes.
Oh.
Along with SG-4, I want O'Neill and teal'c to return with me.
Oh, you don't have to worry about that. They're on their way back right now.
We're heading back right now.
Darn, they got into the trees. We can't see them. Turn around, turn around.
That perfect camouflage with that yellow suit is just hiding them so well.
Sent an emissary of peace. Negotiated treaty concerning a Stargate Apophis had taken control of. The negotiation was a ploy. The Stargate was destroyed. How? As soon as he entered the Stargate, there was a massive explosion.
This chick has a nasty habit of doing this.
Yeah, she is Newty is a manipulative little bitch.
Yeah, she's a nasty piece of work.
And she deserves her fate.
Yeah.
Well, I think she deserved a little more, but hey, I'll deal with what I'll get.
You take what you can get sometimes.
Chevron 3, encode it! Chevron 4, encode it!
Sandra?
And she's down for the count.
Oh, that's not good.
Dial slow, Walter, says Fear FEMA.
Take your time, don't worry.
Speaking of.
She slipped into a coma.
What?
Chevron 60.
The advantage of having a proper DHD.
Getting an SG-1 remote signal.
Get the girl away from the gate.
So the Goulds kept SG-7 from coming back through to warn us. All part of the plan.
So what are we going to do now?
Teal'c,
There's rockets.
device inside the girl's on some sort of timer. You're sure it will go off?
Under into orbit.
We should not attempt it. The Earth Gate is what the Goa'uld wants to destroy.
Cassandra's condition deteriorated when she got near the Stargate.
Well, I can't risk the security of this mountain. We'll have to take her somewhere else.
What about the abandoned nuclear facility?
Right. It's just 20 minutes away from here. This Major General Hammond, get me the Secretary of Defense immediately. Tell him it's a matter of life and death.
BD Jake is seeing the way of the Dr. Frazier.
Yep. Oh, Sam. It's okay.
She's like, can I keep her?
No, she's gonna blow up.
Can I keep the pieces?
Well, that's a little macabre, but okay.
For God's sake, Sam, we'll get you a dog or a cat or something. God.
I think they're on level 1.
I'm sure it's okay.
This elevator goes down 30 floors through solid rock. It takes about 3 minutes to get to the bottom.
Fear Pima. Let's yeet this kid to space or a big hole or something.
Damn. I mean, what other alternatives are there? Deep hole or into space?
Hey, you know.
That little girl is so lucky that it was Sam that went down with her instead of Jack.
Yeah, Jack just left her down there.
Please, go back to sleep.
Yeah, it doesn't make it any easier.
Could have given her heavier tranks then.
I mean, at the time that they took her down there, she was unconscious because of a device in her chest.
Oh, right.
Now she is perfectly fine.
Now she just has to kind of quietly just kind of... Yoink!
Now she is watching as Sam is emotionally compromised before her eyes. I thought they said it.
Power down there?
I thought they said that it goes down 30 floors. That's 28.
Sam was getting tired of riding the damn elevator. Like, you know what? 28 is fine enough. Let's get off here.
Way to go, Sam. You destroyed the world because you didn't want to wait another 2 minutes.
BD Jake says cannibalism? Oh my. We're getting a little extreme for cannibalism here. Come on, folks.
I have to go.
And then he says, forget those extra 12 seconds. I'm stopping this ride now. She's already an emotional. She can't last that much longer.
I'll be back.
No. I'm sorry, but I lied to you because you're a danger to the entire planet and the Stargate, so you're going to have to die down here by yourself.
I'm very brave.
Bye.
I have to close the door.
When did this become an episode of Science Theater 3000?
It always has been.
True.
You said we've been basically doing that for all these episodes. We've been doing that in some manner.
I mean, seriously,
This
that's
is
really
lending
just...
itself to a lot more mockery than the other episodes, I think.
Yeah, that is true. But I mean, seriously, that must be really heartbreaking. She became very attached to a little girl, and all of a sudden she is...
You find out she's basically a bomb to destroy the whole world. Yeah.
Or at least to destroy the Stargate.
Or to at least the Stargate, yeah. I'm gonna take a big chunk out of the earth.
She is very lucky that there's a stop button there.
Right?
Jack, she's going back down. What the hell she is? Captain Carter.
Captain Carter is not here right now.
Mama Bear is.
Captain Carter.
There is no Carter, only Zool.
Colonel, I'm staying.
Negative.
Colonel, she's awake.
Oh, God.
Now it's time to just sit out the clock.
For you to get back up here right now.
Nope.
Right now.
Who is like messing with a rapper in the background?
Oh, sorry, that was me.
You're not gonna die.
We will have absolute silence.
All right, why don't you guys clear out?
Irafima says, I would not make this decision, Sam. Not now, Sam. You must not do this, Sam.
I mean, seriously, if your child was down there, wouldn't you want to be down there with them? A young child at that?
Yeah. Well,
That's
yeah.
very brave. I love you.
Oh, just lay it in on heavier, kid.
Just make my decision. Just make my decision so much easier. 20 seconds.
All right.
That they'll stretch out for another 3 minutes.
All the pensive stares.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Oh, wow.
Boom!
On point. Damn. Kaboom! No kaboom?
The ground beneath them gives way and they fall to their doom into a fiery hell.
They start flying around like it's a episode of Star Trek. Whoa! Whoa!
Captain Carter. Can you hear me?
That was Jack. He got hungry.
Sam. Can you hear me?
I'm sorry, BDJ. I didn't mean to ruin your first time experience with my rapper noises as we're also mocking this episode.
It didn't happen. I couldn't leave her, sir.
The mama bear instinct, it took over.
It occurred to me that she first slipped into the coma when we brought her close to the Stargate. As soon as we got her far enough away from the Stargate, she woke up. And I knew.
Like you said, the mama bear instincts kicked in and she just magically knew. Why did you hit me?
Because I was on the edge of my seat. But you were looking down.
Would have been funny if he punched out Jackson.
I could see it too.
Yeah, I was looking.
Cassandra.
Oh, look at the little doggy.
I've got you a little bundle of responsibility that you won't really be able to manage. It'll be up to the parent figure of the house.
We have a rule here on Earth. Every kid has got to have a dog.
Doggy.
Oh, really, the
This is a
puppy.
dog. And he's yours.
Yes, that is a serious rule. Every human child needs a dog.
Let's have a dog. Yes.
Aww.
So how sure were you really?
Good rule. Make it a law now, says BD Jake.
Mother's intent, right?
Subtle, but no. Dr. Fraser's going to take her until we can find qualified parents.
By qualified, you mean ones with the right security clearance?
Oh!
I wouldn't be
Dear
surprised.
says the dog is also a bomb. Just in case.
Oh God.
Oh! The cute puppers.
And Dr. Fraser becomes her permanent parent.
The object is shrinking and being reabsorbed.
He actually adopts her.
Yep.
Hey.
Hey, Samantha. See my new dog?
Wow.
What are you gonna name him? Rufus the Destroyer.
It has to have it, but I don't mind.
You can see the dog hair left over onto Jack's shirt.
Why don't I take the dog for a little walk? Come here. Yep. Know anything about dogs?
I know they taste good.
You can hear Jay Hitman doing whatever it is in the background.
Right.
Visit me?
You betcha. All the time.
That is when you're on Earth.
Right. Now, about that, Cassandra.
I know. Stargate is a secret, and I was born in a place called Toronto.
Oh no!
She's Canadian.
Toronto, not Toronto.
And that means she can't run for president.
Swings.
Never had any.
Oh
of
darn.
What a shame.
Arnold did though.
those. They look like fun.
They are. Come on.
BD Jake, this is not Canada. It's a damn shame. We're gonna throw her back into the bunker.
With Justin Trudeau.
Oof.
Oof.
Oh,
The half Cuban.
Half something.
Complete and total
that was
asshole.
Singularity. With an introduction of Near T, who did not make a on-camera appearance, but name dropped. All jokes aside, it's not a bad episode. It's you know.
Emancipation's better. Hathor's 1000% better.
Hathor's goofy, but yeah, I mean, like it is. I'd say Emancipation is just definitely a little heavy-handed, but
this won't be the only episode with children involved.
This is true.
Interesting.
Yep.
Well, you watched Ahead Hitman, so.
Oh yeah.
I think my favorite is the one with the nanites in the brain.
Oh, yeah, I know the one you're talking about. And then they all the way they like pass the nanites on to each other, so they all gain the information, and then
spoilers.
Yeah. Well, that gets revealed in the episode, so early-ish. But yes, another good one.
Trying to think of what other ones we had children in it. I'm trying to.
The one where Teal turns into a rotten beehive.
Oh yeah, there's that one too. Geesh.
Oh,
there's also
yeah.
there's also the one with Jack's clone.
I was thinking of that one too. Yeah. Hey, Static, how's it going? Sorry, you just missed the episode.
That was a little bit goofy where he turns into a wasp. I was like, come on.
The whole larva thing, yeah.
Is that where we're going with it?
Something like that, yeah. And it creates the whole nest of bugs.
Disgusting.
There is also the one episode from Stargate Atlantis with the kids living underneath the
protective dome. Yep. They have some pretty extreme rules they have to live by.
Once you turn 18, bye-bye.
Yep. Time for you to make the sacrifice.
It's kind of like a scene from Children of the Corn.
You know, I have not seen that movie, so
Oh, we definitely need to fix that on you, man.
Stark said he just got home. Okay, well, good to know you made it safe and sound, sir. Hope your trip was fun. So, Hitman, you got to bounce, sir?
I got to run the store really quick.
No problemo. Anything you want to drop
Yeah.
before you head out?
Well, so there might be a big announcement probably next week. I got to talk to you about it, and then obviously we're talking with Smarter Chris. So we'll watch. Not do anything Wednesday or Thursday, but there might be a big announcement coming. It's not a big announcement, but there might be an announcement coming.
Major. It's earth shattering. If anyone hears it,
massive.
The earth will crack in two. It will divide and it will be thundered.
If you hear me tweet out hear me tweet. That's weird. If you see me tweet out cannonball, then it's coming.
Good to know. Good to know. All right, sir. I look forward to finding out what it's going to be.
Yes.
All right. You have a good
round.
Yeah, we'll see you guys.
See ya. Boy. And then for Spartacus, you got anything? We'll close it out here then. You got anything you want to plug, sir?
I am still going through playing Lego Batman over on my channel.
Nice.
Anyone wants to come and watch me do that. And then also on Tabletop Junkie Games channel, I've been continuing to do various tabletop games. We just did our second game of kind of a zombie apocalypse where the apocalypse is just beginning. All these zombies are rising from the sick and everything, going
nice,
eating people. I survived the initial phase, so we'll see how long I live. And then Table started kind of talking more and more about Mech Zeta, which is kind of like a Gundam themed role-playing game. So
nice. I've started to listen to. I went through the episode that you guys did with Melee, James, and Kay. That was hilarious.
Yes, it was.
That's some great stuff right there. James's creativity with putting together a scenario is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
And you guys did I did enjoy it a lot. And I started to listen to your guys's the Cyberpunk one.
That is definitely fun.
The first episode, and I've been starting to listen to that. So I'm checking out more, and definitely, people go to both of the Sparta and Tabletop Junkies channel, give them a sub, because having nice alternatives out there is good.
Yep, it is. I mean, this is coming from someone who's never played tabletop games until late last year.
I've never seen myself. I've been curious, but I've just not.
Same here.
So
after reasons, Table's like, you're gonna be joining us. You're gonna be joining me and my friends from now on. I'm like, okay, I'll do it.
Nice. I may have to check because I know he's got a lot of stuff planned.
Oh yeah, there's a lot.
And there's some of the stuff I'm kind of curious about, but I just know schedulings and stuff. If I could try and get in,
hey, Table would love having you around. Probably,
I'd love to learn. But yes, absolutely, check them out, everybody. Anything else, sir?
No, nothing much besides that.
Cool beans. And for myself, so the week of the 21st to the 27th, I am going to be off. So possibly more and more gaming streams. I know I'll be trying to jump into a few. I got to get in contact with some people because they asked me to appear on stream and see if they'll still have me. We'll figure that out, and I'll make that announcement probably next Saturday for our next Saturday Night Sith. And I don't know if weekend pregame is returning, Static, if we're going to be down this Thursday. If so, cool. Wednesday or Thursday, I'm considering jumping, or if not sooner, I've reinstalled Star Wars X-Wing Alliance, and I put in the TIE Fighter Total Conversion mod. Looks fantastic. And I might be playing that. Get in a little flight simulator action. So that'll be kind of a change of pace and a very well done mod. by oh god, what I think ain't it's on another person on YouTube. TIE Fighter version. Yeah, Angel on you can basically find it through TIE Fighter Total Conversion. Dude's been doing an amazing job with it. Oops. Been doing an amazing job with it. It's looking great. I mean, it looks like you'd almost be playing like a current gen game, but they've with all the different mods out there managed to make it look great. And he's been also playing Klingon Academy, which, man, that takes me way back. Yeah.
I've never played that, so.
It was fun. It was another kind of flight sim combat game and stuff like that. It was a lot of fun. And
When
I
are
was
they
like,
going to-
that was like
when
an
are-
early game I first started getting into, not first, but it's definitely an early game where a buddy of mine brought me into a gaming clan at the time. And that was then eventually how I got led to Star Wars Galaxies, was through that group. So,
Huh. All right, cool.
Yeah, good time.
So when are we going to get the updated version of Star Wars Jedi Starfighter?
You know what? That's a good question. I'll have to start hunting for something like that, because that was also fun too.
I remember playing Star Wars: The Clone Wars video game and learning about Ulic Quadroma, the Reaper Project, and all that stuff.
Oh, nice.
Yep. That was fun. That was when I also realized that the tomb that we see on Renvar in Star Wars Battlefront was Ulic Quadroma's.
Oh, okay. You gotta love stuff like that.
Yeah.
Static says, oh yeah, we're back, coming up on a year. Has it been a year first? Wow, damn. For weekend pregame. Nice. All right. So with that, thank you everybody. Thank you, Static, for jumping in at the last bit. BD Jake, you've been hanging out the whole time. Thank you, sir. And you too, Chris. Thank you for being here with us. Fear of
you.
FEMA, Nerdy Neo, as always. Thank you, sir. I know you've been also coming back for the replays. Greatly appreciate that watch time. And anybody that is watching the replays, be sure to drop the comments. It does help push us out there. Let's get the name out there. Codename Acid was in here earlier. Paul Hadoken, Dan Blackroyd, aka Liquid Blake, which now I got a little bit more of an understanding with that. Red Hoodwinked, and Black Belt. And let's see who. Brandon Tran, thank you. It's been great seeing you again, sir, in the chat. Fook Norris, of course, Duke Devil was here. We had a new face, Anthony Jameson here. And Meteor Advocate Kit Timon was the first to drop a comment. Star Wars Marvel purist. Almost forgot you. Sorry about that. Appreciate y'all being here. And with that, we'll say good night and have a great evening. Boy, where is it? There it is.
What is thy bidding, my master?
Yeah, I should have known from the very beginning. From what you said. Yeah, when the mega powers were formed. Yeah, what you were out for from the very beginning. Yeah, you were after what was mine.
You know what? I'm so sorry. I had it right here on my other screen. But you're absolutely right, BD. I'm so sorry. BD Jake, thank you again. You donated $1 at the beginning of the stream. Thank you so much, sir. That was totally awesome. I appreciate it. I had it right here on my other screen. I was ready to bring it up.
For shame.
I'm so sorry. Great and eternal shame upon me. I am sorry.
Shame on you.
I'll do
shame
better.
On your family and shame on your cow.
Once I get a cow, I will shame the cow. Yeah, I'll be sure not to spend it all in one place. Again, thank you so much. That's totally, appreciative, all that jazz. Really, thank you. So now we will close it out. Good evening, everybody.
What is thy bidding, my master?
Yeah, I should have known from the very beginning. From what you said. Yeah, when the mega powers were formed. Yeah, what you were out for from the very beginning. Yeah, you were after what was mine. I remember what you said.
You can destroy the Emperor. Join me. Together, we can rule the galaxy as father and son.
Yeah, that one was rough. Those words right there. Yeah, I got stuck, yeah, but I swallowed it anyway. Didn't like the taste, but I swallowed it anyway, yeah. But I remember the time when there was a conquistador out of the ring. The one that's so jealous that he can't stand it, yeah. Yeah, you came in there with your poses, yeah, but you made a big idiot out of yourself, yeah. And speaking of idiot things, what about that stupid idea? Did you forget that one? Think back. That right there sealed your fate. Yeah, that put the madness over the edge. But I'll tell you what felt even better, yeah, was in the dressing room, in the first aid room. Me being unselfish, yeah, said go ahead, do the thing, yeah. You won't steal my thunder, no. When you take a look at the madness's eyes, all you're gonna see is complete and utter red.